Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to another episode of Random Thoughts Some Useful, where the thoughts are totally unplanned, often random, but somehow always useful. I'm your host, Jen Brown, cancer survivor, empowerment coach, and lifelong truth seeker. Around here, nothing's off limits. We talk about gut health and God, mindset and medical gaslighting, frequency, food, and all the quiet ways we come back home to ourselves. Most episodes, no script, no agenda, just a mic, a moment, and whatever truth needs to come through. So if you're craving something real, something that reminds you of who you are, what matters, and how to rise, you're in the right space. Like, share, and subscribe if something lands. And if you want to support the podcast or buy us a cup of coffee, you can cash app us at Apothecary Jen. Let's get into it. Saturdays are my day, guys. I love to get up early, watch the sun come up if I can, head downtown for a walk or some yoga, or meet up with my girlies for just some good quality time. This Saturday, I got up at 5:55 a.m. I drove 40 minutes north to meet up with an old friend from 1996, y'all. Telling my age. He now works in aerospace engineering for the FAA. His background is in mechanical and civil engineering, jiu-jitsu, firearm safety, and being an all-around outdoorsman. So I knew it was going to be a conversation worth recording. We set out on a little walk through Oklahoma City to find a hidden waterfall. And along the way, we dove into, you name it, conversation. We touched on intuition, mindset, overcoming depression, anxiety, childhood trauma, corporate toxicity, health, coping skills. The heat held off, but the ticks sure did not. Tiny, tiny baby ticks everywhere. Still, it was worth every step. So good to see you. This is going to be great.
Have you ever been here?
No, this is my first time. I don't know where we're going, what we're doing, so you'll have to show me. I figure you rode a lot here, right?
I rode around the lake a lot, but here, cycling actually hurts my back now. So, in a weird turn of events, I have found walking and running makes my back feel better than cycling.
Interesting.
I know. So,
you can go through here. Where do we start?
Let's go this way.
Okay.
I come out. Do you want to walk trails, or do you want to walk like a little paved path?
No, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I'm breaking in my new boots. I actually got them last fall, but this is the first time I've worn them. I was like, well, I don't know what to expect, so I'll just wear these just in case. I didn't want to trash my tennis shoes or something, you know what I mean, just in case. So
okay.
I came prepared. Whatever you want to do.
We'll take kind of a light, like a wide double track trail. It won't be too rough. And we might venture off a couple places so you can find some deer.
Okay.
There's a lot of people out here, so the deer might be away. But I know it's likely we might be able to see them anywhere.
Very cool.
Yeah,
gosh,
coming out here.
Such a beautiful morning.
Dude, I can't believe this many people out here.
Yeah, I've driven by here 100 times. You know, I go to Mercy up here for a treatment, and it's beautiful, but I've just never stopped. And then I'm just really weird about doing things like this alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll go downtown and walk all over the city. No problem. But getting out in the woods by myself, just a little scary to me. Like, I love being in the woods by myself, but I just don't trust people nowadays. You know what I mean? And, like, I'm just not as strong as I once was. I'm pretty sure I could punch somebody in the mouth real quick, but I better turn around and run real quick, too, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at on that.
You should follow your gut on that. Just yesterday, I don't share stories all the time, but I get them on my feed because I'm a firearms instructor, and it like signals I want to hear about all this bad stuff in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not just crazy, but there's a girl in a park in the middle of Tulsa that there's two women that have been raped, like one yesterday and one the day before, in the middle of like a park like this. And I'm like, what are you...
They think it's the same guy and they're trying to find him, but... God.
They were both kind of off by themselves just a little bit. You know, like
Goosebumps.
maybe they were over in those trees right there. You know, like
Yeah.
they're in public, but they're just so. Whether it's humans or animals, the predator knows, like, I'm gonna get you if you're by yourself.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm a big fan of pepper spray.
Yes, I have a taser in my car. It's sitting right there just ready, but it's in the car, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if you've ever heard this, and I didn't mean to make this all about self-defense, but tasers, not a fan.
really? Well, you have to get so close for one.
That, and if I'm highly motivated, that's just pain compliance. And it's
Okay.
not enough pain compliance to make me stop.
Okay.
Pepper spray, it's pain, and I can't see, and my nose is snotting, my eyes are watering, and it's way worse than a taser. But
Okay.
if, like, I want to fight you, we're going to, like, let's do jiu-jitsu, and you get to hold the taser, I'm going to submit you.
Right.
You might burn me a couple times, or like.
Because I'm focused on getting close, and you're focused on taking me down.
Yeah. It's so. Yeah, I don't blame you. Hopefully, we get to see some cool stuff. I used to mountain bike out here.
Yeah.
And I realized there's something about playing in the dirt that I really like. So I started. I don't want to run on concrete trails. Lame.
Yes.
So I just come out here and run through all the little mountain bike trails.
Yes.
It used to be a 2-mile course. I'm sorry. Now they've got like 5 miles of trails out here. They keep adding little bitty.
Oh, wow.
So I'll make up a course and go run for 2 or 3 miles and just do something a little different every time.
Well, that's cool.
I love it out here.
There's some kind of critter that's been out here. Deer?
Yep. And this is crazy. I've seen deer tracks a billion times, and I always get it wrong, but I think that's the way they're walking. Like, this is the tip of their toes, and then the rounded part in the back of their heel.
Oh, really?
I think that's how you tell which direction. I always second guess myself. But I think she's walking this way.
Oh, wow.
Or was, whenever this was soft. Probably Wednesday when it rained.
Oh, did it rain Wednesday?
Yeah. I think it was Wednesday.
Maybe overnight?
It was like
early morning.
5 in the afternoon, a 5-minute dump. If you got it, you got it. If not, you didn't.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't get it out there. It's funny, we miss a lot of that stuff, but then we get the crazy tornado stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, are you still in Newcastle?
Yeah, well, and we're in Bridge Creek is where we grew up, basically. Kind of, I don't know if you know anything about that area, but...
My buddy lives down there.
Where does he live?
And I got some buddies in Newcastle. Let me think about this. I get on 44. I think it's Bridge Creek. I mean, did you say Bridge Creek?
Uh-huh. It's just a school district out in the middle of the farmland.
Maybe I'm thinking of Blanchard. Ooh, this is kind of overgrown, huh?
No, I'm okay, whatever.
You cool with this?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I'll knock all the ticks off.
Oh, yeah, I guess, is that what we're worried about?
Maybe.
More than anything?
We'll see. This should open up in a second. We'll see what happens.
You'll go first and knock off all the ticks.
Here, and she told me it was pretty clear, but she must not have run over his. It's usually like way trimmed up. So tell me about this little podcast you do. Like, how does it work? Why'd you start it?
Yeah, so I started it back in, gosh, I think it was like February of 2020, like really right when everything was about to, right before everything kind of, you know, what happened next. Right. And then everything happened next and I got distracted. So I really only got maybe 3 episodes in back then. And then this last fall, I picked it back up again. And Random Thoughts Some Useful is the name of it. And it's just me. It's totally organic. Like, I just don't plan anything. I just allow whatever to unfold, you know what I mean? But the whole kind of intention is just to have conversations like this with people that I know or that are like the experts in whatever field that they're passionate about, you know what I mean? Okay. And kind of bring that information to the mainstream. Now, like I said, it's pretty small. I actually have about 17 or 18, this might be 18 or 19 episodes. But I've got a big mental health focus, you know, awareness, that kind of stuff. And just overall health and wellness, you know, me, my background and, you know, what my jam is kind of type thing. And and just being mindful and just teaching people how to, like, coping skills. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Ways to get through life peacefully and happily, like joyfully, regardless of what's going on around you, kind of type stuff.
Okay.
So, and then just empowering people, like making it easier for you when it comes to, gosh, I mean, my journey and health, and especially like this integrative oncology journey that I've been on over the last couple of years, and you know, all of those things, and just bringing, again, just connecting people with the information so that they can create the life they want.
So tell me the name of the podcast again.
Random thoughts, some useful.
Random thoughts.
Some useful.
Some useful. Okay, gotcha.
Some are useful. Totally random. Some of them you might find useful.
Are we recording right now?
Yeah, we've been recording the whole time.
Okay.
And that's kind of...
You just play the audio and people listen to it?
Yeah, it's a long form. Most of them last anywhere from an hour to, you know, maybe 3 hours, something like that. Sometimes I've done like part 1 and part 2 where we wanted to continue our conversation, but kind of ran out of time and had to reschedule for another day, kind of thing. So my brother's military and an entrepreneur and a father and a homesteader and a homeschooler and you know, all the things that if I had to do it over again, I would strive for as a parent and that kind of thing. So super just impressed and champion of him. Look how beautiful this is. Okay, a lot of times I'll take pictures too. So I said a lot of times it's out in nature, especially my brother. I call it the bro sessions. It's our little segments that we do, you know what I mean? And we talk about homesteading, like he raises all of our own beef and chicken and eggs and all that kind of stuff, and everything very conscious, like the way he kills them even. Like he butchers our own meat and all of that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? It's very, very conscious. It's very much like a sacred thing, you know what I mean? Sure. And teaching his boys that as well, and you know, that whole mindset and that kind of stuff. So that's awesome. Yeah, it's a very cool. We talk about all kinds of things. He's very open to just sharing perspective and all the things that he's kind of had to overcome himself, you know, being deployed and all those kind of things. He was in Afghanistan.
Okay.
And he was in Korea. And then my sister married a guy in the army, and all 3 of us were stationed over in Germany for about 9 months together when we were over there.
Yeah.
So it was super cool to get to be there with my siblings, you know what I mean? My brother and my sister. I got to live in a foreign country and get to explore, and it was cool.
Your brother was Army?
Yep.
Okay.
And so was my sister's husband, and then my husband.
Blurs together.
It does. We're getting old, man.
Oh, I am old.
So many years of blur together now. Oh man, yeah.
So I like hearing that your podcast is about like mental health and how to live better.
Yeah.
No matter what, the thing that seems to light people up more than anything when I talk to them, I mean, this is rough. I'm going to let's take this little shortcut.
Okay.
People talk to me about firearms, they talk to me about jiu-jitsu, they talk to me about whatever. And cold plunge, work, airplanes, doesn't matter. If I ever mention to them like this helped me with a really bad season of depression, I do this thing now. If I mention depression or just really depression and that what I've done to overcome it, everyone like immediately kind of lights up and they're like, thank you for telling me about that. It's like they're all dealing with it, but nobody is talking about it. Mom?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
Was it off?
Yeah, but mine's been on, and it usually picks up pretty good, so it should be fine. But anyways, so whenever you mention depression, they immediately open up and...
It's like we're actually talking to each other now. It's not
Yeah.
just surface level anymore. It's like I can talk to you about jiu-jitsu, how to save your life with a firearm, and there is some excitement there. But when I mentioned, like just yesterday, this girl goes, "How do you do that cold plunge?" I was like, "I dumped 60 pounds of ice in." She's like, "Oh, that's a lot of ice." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a little bit of work every day that I do it, but it may be the reason I'm still alive because I went through a bad season of depression, and it's one of the things that really helped."
Really?
And yeah, and she just goes, "Thank you for sharing that." And I could tell we went back and forth after that. And it's always like the you ever go to the mall and you'll smell perfume, and then after a while you can't smell, so then you'll get some coffee beans.
Yeah.
You ever done that?
Yeah.
And it clears up your
Clears
airway
your
so you can smell.
palate. Yeah.
When I mention anything about mental health or depression, it's like coffee beans, and we're like resetting. Let's get real. We want to really experience. We want to have a real talk with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it's like to me. So that's cool. That's what your podcast
Well,
is about.
it's just, I mean, it's a community of people that understand each other and also protect their own environment as much as possible for the most part. Like if you are conscious enough to, I guess, have a difficult time connecting with others, then I feel like you are in a place where you're protective of your energy and that kind of stuff. Even if you aren't conscious of it, subconsciously you're kind of there. Does that make sense?
Dude, that's been kind of, what would you call it? I don't want to say my struggle, but that's been my focus. I'm cutting through to try to get you somewhere. So just look out for poison ivy.
Oh, okay.
Which is like leaves of 3.
Yeah, and so I saw something recently that they grow with Virginia creeper, which is very close to it. Like it looks, but they're all, and then there's one other that grows with it too, and they're all like work in unison. The actual antidote grows right next to it also.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you know this?
No, but the more I learn about, let's call it natural healing and nature, the more
That's how it works.
the more fascinated I am. Just my instructor yesterday in class, he's suffering horribly from allergies, and I shared a natural remedy with him that helped me, and he's like, "Really?"
What was it?
So I told him 2 things. I said, 1, reduce your sugar intake. You're probably eating way too
Yeah.
much sugar, and that has helped my
100.
allergies. And I said, 2, there's a supplement called quercetin
Uh-huh.
and nettles. They combine it together, or you can buy them separately and take one each. But taking that got me off of allergy pills,
Wow.
and now I don't take anything.
That's great.
And I think most of it is because I realized how much sugar I was eating.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it. And
Well, and how much it impacts your immune system. I mean, like literally drops it. Like they say just a gram of sugar will impact your immune system for like 72 hours. Like drops it so low, watch out.
sorry.
that it like it opens you up, like susceptible to, everything within that window.
Yeah, in the what would you call it? Not the peak, but in the valley, the deepest valley of my depression, when things were real bad, I was looking at ways to get better, and I saw a natural homeopathic girl that was going to help me.
Yeah.
I was like, this lady's a witch doctor, but I got to try something, you know?
Nothing else has worked.
And all the doctors were like, you need to get on antidepressants, you need a CPAP, you need surgery. And I was like, none of this stuff is working. So I was about to get on antidepressants, and a friend goes, try this homeopathic girl. I go see her, she does all this weird stuff, and then starts telling me about things about me that I'm like, how do you know that? And she's like, well, just buy all these natural supplements, it's $200 a month. And I'm like, oh, this is a scam, but I'm going to try it because I'm so out of options.
Right.
And she's like, I want you to also log your sugar intake and see how much sugar you're eating. I was like, oh, I ate healthy. I ate granola bars, I ate and a little bit of added sugar here, a little bit of added sugar there. Do you have
That's what's so sad and frustrating for me. Like part of my whole mission is because there's so many people that are trying so hard, like really, just like you. Oh, I eat healthy. They're consciously eating healthy in their
I thought I was.
mind, exactly. But it's all the marketing and all the things, and we don't realize like we're making all this effort towards things that are actually hurting us.
Yeah. Take a guess at how many grams of sugar I was eating a day.
Oh gosh.
Do you know how many grams of sugar you consume a day? Have you ever logged it?
No. Well, I mean, other than just cutting it out completely, no.
Okay. So the guy yesterday, he's like, what were you eating, like 50 grams a day?
Probably 100.
And I was like, everybody in this room's eating 50 grams a day, which is too much. I was like, I was eating 200, which is almost half a pound a day.
200, oh my God.
So my first goal was just to reduce my sugar intake to under 100 grams. Get rid of the granola bar, get rid of the whatever. And so that's
So what was it though? Like, were there energy drinks that were maybe even healthy energy drinks or healthy sodas or what?
I can't do that kind of stuff. Dude, all I remember was, I think the two things I remember were I was eating granola bars. Yeah, I wanted you to see this. I'm going to take you to another little spot over here. I don't know if the water's flowing, but there might be some little waterfalls or little stream over here.
Here, we need to take a selfie real quick before we get all. We got our little mics on.
Perfect.
Awesome.
So I just remember I was working out a lot, so I was probably eating more calories than a normal person.
Was it protein shakes?
I thought Nature Valley granola bars was my thing. That to me, I thought was healthy.
Right.
And there was, I don't remember, 10 to 20 grams of sugar in each one of those little packs.
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing was, I was into the whole low fat is healthy.
Yes, gosh.
And everything low fat has added sugar to add flavor.
Right.
So low fat milk, low fat cottage cheese, it all has more sugar.
I am certain that contributed to my overall decline in health because I was for 10 plus years no fat whatsoever diet. And that's
because you thought it was good,
for
right?
women. Yes.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was.
Well, I was following my husband. That was his deal. He thought that was the healthy way, so I supported him in it. You know how you do those things in relationships. And, and at the time, I didn't know any different. You know, this was all during my 20s. I didn't wake up to anything health-wise, like really start doing my own research and investigating things until like 32.
Yeah.
So.
Let's go see if it's down.
Wow.
We can go down there.
Look at that back there. Do we make it there eventually?
Yeah, we can walk right down there and turn around, or actually we can jump on that route.
Yeah. How great. Would you ever be interested in doing like hikes like this?
I love hikes like this.
Like, I have girlfriends that want to do it too, but like I said, we're so scared to do. Yeah. Like, gosh, we want to go camping so bad, but we're so scared to go by ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I tend to stay too busy, but if I'm not doing something, yes. I've never. Oh, that's just a drainage.
Oh, I thought it was all.
You thought it was
real.
A waterfall?
Yeah.
So there might be.
It's cool though.
Are you tired, or do you want to go back, or are you still good?
Yeah, I'm good. We can go a little bit further.
We can see how close we can get. There might be something back here.
This is so wild. This reminds me of Kauai. I got to go to Hawaii back in like 2014, I think it was, and over there with the red dirt and the like canyons, we called them canyons growing up. Yeah. But and we would ride our 4-wheelers and 3-wheelers around this little place just down from where we live. It's all housing addition now, but there was this spot over in Kauai that was like that, but maybe like 3 times the size, you know what I mean? But it had this waterfall that was coming down in the middle of this red dirt trail like that. It was just so gorgeous. Oh wow, I can drive all the way back here.
No, that's the end of the paved walking trail.
Oh, okay. I had no idea this was back here.
And
I'm always looking for something like this.
There's a bunch of houses right here. When I was younger, I wanted to live there because you could just ride your mountain bike.
Yeah.
Straight from there to here.
Right here.
They're just right there.
Nice.
So I remember why I got off talking about sugar. Oh, allergies.
Yes.
Yeah, I got allergies out of nowhere. Let's say almost 40 years of my life, never had them. And then around, I don't know, 2020-ish. Maybe a little before. I was feeling so horrible. That's actually not true. I started feeling horrible way before that. Heads up.
shit.
You're good.
Scared the crap out of me.
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry. You too,
You
brother.
too. He said, watch out, and I heard your wheels start right then, and I was like, oh my gosh.
You're gonna die. I'm not used to seeing people out here. Ever.
Good morning.
Sir. Good.
Great, you?
So everyone at the time was like, "Oh, you're allergic to gluten." I go buy all this expensive gluten-free bread back in the day.
It's still bread. It's still cookies.
Yeah, and I felt horrible for a long time. Let's say like 7 years, and then the allergies started.
Yes.
And
Did she figure out it was your gut? Your gut health that was...
I certainly think everything I've done has helped my gut health, which has helped my...
Yes.
But I have never distinctively said I focused on gut health. But,
right.
No, I'm with you.
All the things together have helped, all of it.
Yeah. But yeah, and the gut's where it's at. I'm going to try. Can we get up this? So...
How's your hammy?
It's actually pretty good right now.
I've been nursing my back for months. I think it's getting in this old Tahoe. It's tall, even for me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any running boards on it. And so, you have to hike my leg up to get in it. And so I'm like contracting the left, back, glute, hammy, everything. Hip, the whole thing. And that's my stupid hip side anyway. And every time I drive a lot, I end up with this kink in my back. So
really?
It's like, I think it might be getting in and out of that car.
Or the seat's worn out on one side, maybe.
Possibly. Sitting uneven.
Yeah. My seat is fine, but I'll like lean in it when I'm driving, and then I start hurting.
Yeah.
I got to sit up and...
Proper posture.
Yep. So, one day after a year feeling like junk, somebody goes, "You have allergies." I was like, "Bro, I've never had allergies." That's not me. And where do I want to go? Can we...
Oh, what's that over there? A big lake?
Yeah, you want to go see it?
Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to get you to where this little pond feeds into a little stream. My friend takes pictures there all the time. But yeah, so then I start taking all these allergy meds, and they're like, "Oh, well, Zyrtec doesn't work anymore. We'll switch to Allegra." So I start taking Allegra, it wears off, and the next thing I know, I was like, "This is just an endless cycle." We can look at it right here if you want. There's like an endless cycle of taking drugs more and more and more, and they were working less and less and less.
Yes.
So then I go see the natural doctor, and she's my last Hail Mary. And she... Have you ever been to like I think they're called... She is a Eastern...
Ayurvedic?
Medicine... what do they call it? She got a degree in Eastern medicine. It is some woo-woo weird stuff to Americans for sure.
There's probably not a single thing that you experienced with her that I would be like, oh, freaked out about it or anything.
My
like
engineering scientist brain was like,
whoa.
She had a little book full of little glass tubes that had different things in them. They were all in liquid form. I don't remember what they were. Mercury, blah, 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 all this stuff. And one side of the book had all these vials, and the other side had these other vials. And she like flipped the book open and tells me to lay down, puts the book on my chest. All these elements are in a sealed glass tube, right? Puts them on my chest. She pulls out my arm and she shakes my arm. She goes, "Okay, you're good." Flips the book over, sets the glass bottles on my chest, and she shakes my arm again. She says, "Oh, hey, you've got one of your sensitive to one of these things." I'm like, "They're in a sealed glass tube. How does it have any?" It's like, "You're insane, lady." And she's like, "Well, just buy this $200 worth of stuff, and it'll help." I'm like, "Okay, this is certainly a scam, but I'm about to blow my brains out. It's literally at home. I can't take it. Let's go for it." And I start getting better. And every time I go back, she'll do different stuff. And she'll be like, "I think you have adrenal fatigue. Do you work? Is work really stressful for you?" I was like, "Yeah, how do you know that?"
Yeah.
And she kept saying things and giving me things. I've been seeing her for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
And for a minute, I thought, you know what, I'm getting duped. I'm going to go see another Eastern Energy Healer or whatever they're called. She did all the same stuff and said all the same things. I'm like, how do you shake my hand with a vial and know what's wrong with me? What is going on?
So do you understand it now?
I have no idea how it works. I just can tell you all the doctors that have been selling me CPAPs and all this other stuff don't work for me personally. Yeah. I mean, modern medicine has helped me in some areas, but with the depression and all the allergies and all that stuff, no, they haven't helped me a bit.
Yeah.
Personally, I know everybody's results are different.
Correct. I mean, for liability purposes, we've got to say that disclosure. We're not doctors by any means, and we are not giving medical advice. Please consult your physician.
No, if I could give any advice, it would be go try something and see what works for you.
Yes.
Because I have friends that swear that veganism helps them, and I have friends that swear carnivore works for them.
Have you ever heard about like eating for your blood type?
Yes. Yes, I have.
So I think that is why you're talking about, you know what I mean?
Because why some people love vegetables and some people love meat.
Some people it's interesting. I mean, we could go into that, but do your own, like not you, but people do your own research, like, you know what I mean? Because it's fascinating.
Some people love, like me, I love cold plunge. It has helped me so much. Other people, they're like, I hate the cold. Saunas have done so much for me. I'm like, you can have the sauna. I do that if I want to increase my mental fortitude because I hate it. But other than that, a sauna, you can have that. It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
So everybody's different.
Everyone is different, and there's a season too, I've learned. So like through this journey that I've been on, there's so many things that people are so kind and so sweet and concerned and just want to be helpful and want to see me succeed and all that kind of stuff. And so everybody's doing their research and everybody's bringing stuff that they hear that is beneficial to people with cancer and all the things, right? And I'm trying all the things. Like, you know what I mean? Because same, I definitely want to do something natural as opposed to putting any kind of poison or synthetic or, that kind of stuff in my body. So totally get it. And I'm jumping through hoops, like everything that I'm sent, I'm trying it out and I'm researching and all the things. And come to find out, there's so many things that I was doing that you recommend for cancer that are very beneficial and people are really healing and overcoming that just made mine worse. Multiple things.
Yeah.
And
so some stuff that was working for some people was making yours worse. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, especially like the real popular alternative things right now. They like even just castor oil. Like they say to use castor oil packs for, to help detox your liver and which helps overall with your overall just health in general, right? But even castor oil seemed to aggravate things. I would end up like feeling more pain and just felt like I had more tumor growth and things like that, which was real strange. But to be like, I try not to be hyper in tune with my body, but I notice everything. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's
kind of hard to ignore. Like discern what you ignore and what you don't, because there have been so many things that have resolved on their own, you know what I mean? Or over time, not necessarily on their own, but where they didn't think they would at all. And then miraculously, it's totally gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's an ebb and flow too, because, not totally gone. Totally gone is inaccurate. It was like 98% gone. You know what I mean? Or at least shrunk down to undetectable, because they say we all walk around with cancer cells in our body. It's just a matter of the environment that we provide, whether or not it supports your body's natural ability to keep it under control, or which actually, like tumors, that is your body's natural ability to keep it under control. Like that's your body's way of protecting, like surrounding those abnormal cells and keeping it in place, you know what I mean? But once you get to a point where you're replicating cells like that, then it's kind of like one step forward, two steps back with anything that you do when it comes to physically, food wise, those kind of things. And there's so much misinformation out there. They'll tell you that sugar doesn't feed cancer, but
I wouldn't. I don't know if I agree with that.
Exactly.
Watch your feet.
It's crazy. So, another thing, like I ended up with a lymphedema problem because I had cancer in the lymph nodes in this right arm. And so I was battling lymphedema, and the things that they tell you that are healthy to battle cancer, like HIIT exercise and sauna, those kinds of things are actually not good. Oh,
Usually they fly off.
not good for cancer or for lymphedema.
Just chilling. Got some pretty feathers in the back. So I'll see ducks out here like this one normally, but if they see me, they're gone.
Huh.
Deer don't run, but the ducks usually do.
Do.
Yeah, this little section right here is usually prettier in the day when the sunlight's on it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show you this. We'll turn around when we get to the little drop-off section.
Cool.
Sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
No, you're good. So, yeah, the things that they tell you that are good for cancer, to, exercise, high intensity exercise and sauna and things like that, are actually not good for lymphedema. So you can't get...
Oh, so you were making it worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my whole thing is I always tell people, you bought some data, maybe with money, maybe with time, but you learned something. So now you can just keep trying stuff.
That's the point of my podcast.
Keep trying. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I have all this data that I've accumulated all these years. I might as well share it with y'all.
Oh, God. Yeah. I've often thought about making a video. It'd probably be an hour long of all the stuff I've learned in the past 10 years. And just because it's totally counterintuitive what I thought the first 30-something years of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Why is no one talking about this?
Exactly.
And why do I have all these ingrained perceptions of things that are completely wrong that I was so sure of?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I could help one person not go through what I went through,
exactly. That's my podcast.
That's what you're doing? Yeah.
That's my podcast. It's life hacks. You know what I mean? The things that I've learned along the way, and the gurus that I've partnered with along the way that, are just as passionate about sharing their hacks also.
So I've actually never found this until today.
Really?
She takes pictures of it and I always wonder where it is.
I love it.
It's not normally flowing when I come through here.
I wonder if we can get on that end of it.
Let's go try and see if we can find a spot. Are you wanting to go down there or just...
Yeah, I'm wondering if we can get from the, you know what I mean, that angle somehow.
We can make it happen. And so to come full circle, not to go off on 10 years worth of data, but to come full circle where we kind of started this podcast, I have found the most helpful thing overall has been doing something really weird. And that has been listening to my conscience and what my gut is telling me.
Yeah.
And I've had there's a great philosopher, I don't remember which one it was, but he said, that voice is never wrong.
Right.
And every time he followed, and I have found the same things to be true. That's speaking in absolutes is very odd. It has never been wrong for me. Even when momentarily it seemed wrong or I didn't want to do it, it has always turned out to be oh my God, I'm so glad I did that. So to sum up 10 years of data, just follow your conscience, your spirit, your intuition, whatever you want to call it. People call it different things.
Can be very triggering. Labels.
Sure. I mean, maybe it's all your conscience.
But here's the thing: no one's denying it. We're all talking about it. We're all labeling it something different, but no one's denying the energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's I might be able to walk down this little thing right here.
Thinking.
I'm just looking out for leaves on the ground. That has been probably the coolest journey of my life, is listening to the voice,
right,
the conscience, the Holy Spirit, whatever,
yes.
the energy, whatever that is.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but I know it's always right.
Yep. It is. Even when you look like a crazy person, you feel like a crazy person. That is when I have figured out is when you should follow it the most.
Oh yeah.
When it's scary, that's when you should jump.
I agree. I think I agree with that. I think, yeah, usually the harder it is, the more reward I have gotten from it.
Right?
Not usually, I would say probably always.
It's those big dreams, those big inspirations that you're like, who am I to have this kind of, you know?
Yep. So I'm going to either go, where do I want to go? I can either jump to there or we can go through here.
Doesn't matter to me.
You're
Maybe
just,
go down, yeah, right there.
You're just game for whatever, huh?
Yeah. I grew up on a farm, man. Do you know how much pig shit I've had in my hands?
Oh, it definitely smells like fish down here.
Does it?
Yeah. When you get down here, you can smell the...
Yay!
Yeah, I've never seen this. This is cool. You'll have to get a... How long does it normally take you to post your podcast?
Usually, what is today? Saturday? I usually, if I record at the end of the week, I'll usually get it up by Tuesday. It's usually
That's pretty fast.
Usually
takes me 3 months to make a video.
My goal. Well,
I'm so slow.
mine's all audio, you know what I mean? So it's, and I don't know, it's pretty, and it's organic. I don't edit a lot, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I'll probably edit out the names that we mentioned, just because I like to keep people's privacy if they don't want it, you know what I mean? Without
What
their...
names did we talk about? I don't even remember.
Just a couple of like our friends and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Living out in Newcastle and stuff.
I want to take a picture with you.
Yeah.
And then you can take one too.
Yeah, for sure.
1, 2. Got it.
Perfect.
You got me on this side or that side?
Let me get to this side. My arm is a little longer over here, so. That's so great.
I love it.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come out here. This is exactly what I had in mind. You know what I mean? Just getting out in nature and just enjoying this beautiful planet that we live on, you know, that we take for granted every day as we're driving down the highway screaming at the person in front of us. That's how I used to be, man. I could tell you this retirement life, I mean, I wouldn't have like suggested the route that I took, but I am so grateful that I'm able to really be still right now, you know, and really focus on healing. And I was approved for Social Security disability last August.
Okay.
So for 3 years, and then I have been living out at my mom and dad's. I think I'm going to try to do it this way. Ready?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, good coat. So close. There's like
good job, man.
There's like one spot of mud.
Your hammies.
And you stepped on it.
Thank you for saving my life.
Yeah, I got my right foot wet too.
Yeah. Broke them in good.
So give me the quick version of your health journey, like what's going on and what you're doing. I know you've mentioned a few things on our walk, but I honestly don't know what all you've dealt with and what you're still dealing with.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't realize I had stage 4 cancer? Metastatic breast cancer?
I saw that last year, I think.
Yeah. And so
But other than that, like you've mentioned some other things, and you mentioned you're going to Mercy for treatment. I don't know what you're doing for treatment.
Yeah.
So like, what are you dealing with, and what are you doing?
Where are we at? Yeah. So 23, April of 23 is when I was diagnosed, and I chose to go the natural route and not do chemo when they suggested it. And then I ended up progressing to stage 4 by April of 24, and finally went on chemo. So I had 6 rounds of what they call palliative care chemo now.
What type of cancer did you have? Where's it at?
It is ER/PR HER2 positive ductal carcinoma invasive ductal carcinoma metastatic breast cancer. And so that means...
All that is breast cancer?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, except metastatic means that it has moved past the breast tissue.
Okay.
And so that means it could be as simple as just in the localized lymph nodes, like the axillary lymph nodes in the armpit area next to like the breast where the tumor or whatever could be. And then from there it can, which it did, my whole thoracic cavity was lit up like a Christmas tree, if you've ever heard that term. Like it was all in all of my ribs and my sternum and my lungs and all my lymph nodes all throughout my thoracic cavity and my neck, in my adrenal glands, and just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Everywhere. Not a good prognosis at all.
No.
And they gave me 3 to 5 years to live last April. And so that's how I ended up on getting the approval for Social Security disability so easily, so quickly. The diagnosis.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. So that has been a huge blessing. And then just being able to be out at my mom and dad's, I moved into their travel trailer, and they live out on an acre and have a, beautiful yard and garden and plants and flowers and stuff everywhere. And it's just really peaceful out there. So I've just really been able to relax and focus on healing, but my treatment is all the way up at Mercy, so I had to go every 3 weeks. Well, I've been going every 3 weeks up to Mercy since last April. And I have to do infusions. I did 6 weeks of chemo, and then those lasted about... I was there from probably like 8 in the morning until 1 o'clock, sometimes 2 o'clock, something like that. Once every 3 weeks. But now I just go in for an injection every 3 weeks. So I'm in there I go in every couple of months now to see my oncologist, and we every 3 weeks we do my blood work, and she monitors it and all and that kind of stuff, but I don't have to see her as frequent, you know what I mean? And then the injection that I'm doing now is hormone suppressant because my cancer particularly is driven by my hormones.
Huh.
And that's the ER/PR part of the type of cancer that I have. The HER2 positive is they call it, they have like a targeted therapy now where they target that specific gene expression that is the driver of my cancer, if you will. But it's the 3 in unison that are the problem, which are estrogen and progesterone, and then the HER2, whatever, protein.
Sounds like you've learned more about cancer than you ever wanted to.
I have. But you know what? None of that matters. None of it. Like, it's all just details, like labels and things. You know what I mean?
I do.
Like, the thing that I have learned that has mattered, like, made the biggest difference. Number 1, belief. Period. Like, 100%. This last year definitely solidified my confidence in this belief that your belief is what matters most. 100%. If you hope that you'll be healed, but deep down you don't believe that you're worthy or deserving of it, it's not going to happen. See what I mean?
I do.
We stand in our own way. We give our power away constantly, but it's a very fine line, a beautiful dance between co-creating with our creator, God, the Holy Spirit, whatever we want to call that. You know what I mean? I was raised very religious in a very Maranatha Baptist church, which was great. In a lot of ways, my foundation is, I guess, more than it would be otherwise. Would be a way to say it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then First Baptist is where I got married and spent most of my like teenage and adulthood kind of influence, if you will. And when I was over in Germany, there was a Protestant Women of the Chapel like Bible study that I would go to. And then since I've been back in the States, really, I've probably done more of my church online than I have anywhere, you know what I mean? Like watching Life Church or some of the other, Victory Family Church is another one that I like. I went to what do they call it? Like a worship service there one time.
Yeah.
And that was really cool to experience. I don't know if you've ever experienced like kind of like a revival like that, you know what I mean? But, oh man, can you feel the Holy Spirit? It is amazing to be in the presence of just so many like-minded people like that, right? But at the same time, you gotta be your intuition. You have to discern. Sometimes you can get connected with the wrong people. You know what I mean?
100%. I know what you mean.
I mean,
100%.
like religious trauma is a thing. That's kind of my upbringing. You know what I mean? So it's like you really, just because it's church doesn't mean it's the best for you. Yeah. So back to discerning and what you were talking about with, that's what I know to be muscle testing. Has anybody ever used that
That's
term?
what she called it.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I'm like, what does that have to do? What?
It has
scientifically,
to do,
this doesn't.
sorry.
Scientifically, it made zero sense to me.
So this is a different level of science, honestly. It's like quantum physics, right? This is energy and how everything is energy, and all we never can get rid of it. It's literally just an exchange of it. And we can be alchemists. We can influence energy. Like our vibe attracts our tribe, right? So we can influence our own energy, and therefore that can influence others just by being in their presence. You don't even have to speak, right? This is what we're talking about. It's the same stuff.
As a person who was diagnosed with sleep apnea and depression and anxiety and blah blah blah, the list goes on. My mind was not working right. I just wasn't thinking clearly. So even if you had told me, hey, you can't breathe well because you're on top of Mount Everest, you need to go down, my brain was telling me, hey, I don't want to move, this feels good right here.
Yeah.
And so
that comfort zone.
The lady trying to explain what she was doing to me, her explanations actually bothered me. It made it worse.
Right. You're like, I don't want to know because it's so different.
Well, even if I had the ability to process properly and my brain was healthy back then and I wasn't on top of Mount Everest, I had enough oxygen, I just never heard anything like that in my life.
Right. It was so foreign.
So I wasn't thinking straight, and you're throwing this, what seems like voodoo at me. But here's what I can tell you. For the first time in my life, I didn't need to understand something. Literally, that was the first time in my life I quit trying to understand everything, and I just go, it works. Whatever this is, it works. Like, maybe that's kind of that deal where it's a blessing to hit rock bottom because the only way you can look is up. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, okay, I can't try to know it all. I just have to follow the path of least resistance. But
that's
my whole life most of my life I was kind of swimming upstream.
Well, I think that's a trauma response from what I've learned.
100%. 100%.
That is what we do when we go through a lot of trauma, and it's a coping mechanism. It's how we keep order among chaos, you know what I mean? So, and it's also like growing up outside of affluent families, you have to scrape for and fight for everything, right? I mean, sometimes against your own people. So it's just a whole other way of being that is just really hard sometimes too. Well, repent, right? In the Bible, it talks about repenting, like Jesus talks about this. But I feel like we often get this confused with we're supposed to repent for our sins, as in I'm supposed to take on all this guilt and shame and confess to God about my sin and ask him for forgiveness. The actual definition of repent is to change your mind. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I knew the definition of sin. I didn't know the definition of repent. Okay.
So and from what I've read, sin is missing the mark.
Yeah, it's an archery term.
Yeah.
It comes from missing.
Yeah.
It's an archery term. That's where it comes from.
Right. Yeah.
Or that's what I learned.
And then all the parables, you know what I mean? But it's like, that's kind of where I'm at these days in life, is just totally following what Jesus taught, because it simplifies everything. You know what I mean? It's like, if we focus on the right things, it all takes care of itself.
Yeah, there was one of my favorite. You know how you can like give your friends advice, but you don't necessarily follow it?
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
That's me, how I know.
Yeah. One of my favorite pieces of advice, or one of my favorite little analogies to tell people when I was super deep into church was, you can stick your hand into a bucket of water and make a fist and try and grab as much water as you can by just grabbing with one hand and trying to control the situation, or you can just put both hands in open and see what you get out. Like, stop trying to that was my favorite analogy, yet I was still sticking my fist in the bucket.
Right.
Not like, well, I didn't know I was doing that consciously, but I was still, because of, let's call it trauma response, I was still doing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's actual neuroscience behind it. Like, again, a whole other different kind of science, right? Just a different category, but it literally, like, your brain synapses and the way that they work, whenever you, it's just like we're carving this path, right? We're cultivating the path at this point, right? It's here, but because we're walking on it and everyone's walking on it, we keep the path going. And it gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and so we start to create ruts, right? To where you have to go this way. It's the path of least resistance now, right?
Right.
So literally, this is what happens with our habits and the way that we think and the way that we process and we respond and all of these things, is we've literally dug a rut in our brains. And it's the can't teach an old dog new tricks thing. I mean, you can, but it takes a lot of conscious effort, right? It's that muscle memory that you have to retrain. So you literally have to create new pathways. And the way that you do that is, like, I've been reading a lot lately about, like, brain health and how to, like, my parents are aging. And I have an aunt that's 85 and she's dealing with dementia, and I'm pretty sure my dad is maybe some early onset dementia. I think a lot of that was medically induced, though, like through his medications that he was on that maybe weren't properly monitored by all of the different physicians and things that he's been doing over the years, you know what I mean? And it just wasn't really caught that he was taking multiple contraindicative drugs that were sedative. So he was just medically sedating himself every day, which is taxing on your heart, all your organs, not just your brain, you know what I mean? And not including all the toxics that we're taking every day to get to that state, you know what I mean? So it's just watching your parents age, man, aging is not for sissies. Like, that's another thing that this perspective that this has brought, is realizing these older people that we see as so fragile and so weak and so, I don't know, like, incapable and, you know, all these things when they get to a certain age, but they're enduring so much pain on a daily basis and not complaining one bit. You know what I mean?
I do.
Like, I can tell you that going through this chemo treatment, this was literally the worst pain. Some of the worst pain I've ever been through.
Yeah.
And all I could think about is these 80-year-old little ladies and men that are look so decrepit and they're going through this and they're not saying a word, you know what I mean? Or that they had been battling this chronic pain and disease for years.
Yeah.
Without saying anything, you know? Ageism was, I think, the biggest driver there. You know what I mean? Once you get to a certain age, they totally write you off when it comes to...
I've started to notice that.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand it until very recently.
Yeah. It's a real thing. She has been doing research and has found that she thinks that maybe her, after hysterectomy, that type of therapy has caused the myelomas the tumor that she dealt with recently. Yeah.
Man, another one of my, this is a generalization, but another one of the things I've learned personally on my journey is, for me, the solution when it comes to food and medicine most of the time is to eat it or consume it as close to the way God left it as possible.
As whole as possible.
And the more I get away from that, the more problems there typically seems to be. And it's fascinating that doctors have these treatments and they're like, we're so smart right now. But they thought the same thing 100 years ago, right? I mean, what was it? Just 100 years ago, if you were gay, you got locked up in an insane asylum. And that was modern medicine. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Go back 100 years every time, and every time they thought what they were doing. But the people that were living peacefully, eating real food, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now...
Like the Mormons?
Well, you just
or the Amish
out
there?
Yeah.
Like,
I
seriously.
I totally get the Amish.
Yeah,
I totally get it.
100%.
I didn't used to, but now I'm like, oh. I get it.
Yeah,
or the
used
Indians.
to, I thought, okay.
I get that now, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we want you to hook up this machine. We want you to take this chemical treatment. Maybe some people need to do that. Maybe.
Right.
And I'm totally open to the modern medicine. It's helped me. Surgery with my shoulder. If I hadn't had that done, there's no way I'd be able to use my arm right now. So it has its uses. But for me, typically, you notice this cycle where they come out and they go, oh, you know what? We said take these drugs for depression. But there's also the side effect we're learning that it makes you want to kill yourself too. So factor that into your depression treatment. It's like, what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
and
you
people
could
don't realize
stop
that.
eating sugar,
Yeah.
grab an orange, go for a walk. I don't want to oversimplify anyone's issues.
Right.
But when you mentioned that she got tumors from something the medical community said this is the way.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of life though too. Maybe she had to do the hormone thing. She had to do the hysterectomy, and now...
Sometimes. I mean, I'm in a situation now where, like, I was resistant to this hormone suppressant therapy. And so I refused it. But in December, I started feeling changes again. And I was like, okay, I don't think things are going the way they should be going. You know what I mean? So I had to give into it. And again, so many things that... the keto diet is recommended for overall health and wellness, but it's a very meticulous balance. Like, it's been totally bastardized, like everything does when it comes to health and wellness, it seems like. But there's clean keto, there's Mediterranean keto, there's not either of those, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so following the advice of nutritionists and doctors that are more health-minded, they're health enthusiasts, right? They're fit themselves, they make a conscious effort to be healthy, this kind of things. These are the kinds of people that I tend to, if I'm going to look for advice, it would be those types of people, right?
Right.
Educated doctors for 20 plus years, physicians, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they're recommending keto, clean keto, or Mediterranean keto. If you don't like to eat red meat, that kind of stuff, then okay. Just make sure it's high fat, no carbs, no sugar. You're trying to stay in ketosis. Do you know anything about keto and how to?
I do.
Okay, so your goal is ketones, right? All that kind of stuff. Well, turns out that animal fat, which is kind of the thing with keto,
Right.
that I've been doing for the last 2 years, well, that's not good for brain health.
Really?
Not if you have cancer that's throughout your body, and it tends to just
Okay.
be affected very easily with different things. So again, are you kidding me? For the last 2 years, I have focused on.
So that was your focus, and we earlier we talked about, following your gut, your instinct, the Holy Spirit, the conscience, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Along your journey with carnivore or keto diet, I'm sorry. Did you ever have the sense that
Yes.
you shouldn't be? You were forcing yourself, and like
Yes.
this isn't helping, but you're just going to do it because it's the smart
This is
thing.
what everyone recommends is the best. And
But
yes.
you did have the voice telling you, "Hey, something ain't right."
Well,
But
I
you're
feel
just
like,
trying to be disciplined, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, God, yes. And that is, until recently, my biggest focus has been just overall health and wellness, empowering people in that way, right? Taking the guesswork out of it, because I understand the overwhelm that it is whenever you're faced with going to the grocery store and eating healthy and cooking for yourself and all the things and getting all the balanced meal in, which should be flipped upside down. Like, you should get more protein than you should carbs and grains and all these things, right? It's just, bless their hearts. Like, all the people, it really enrages me, all the people that are trying so hard to make such a positive impact in their lives, mentally, physically, overall health and wellness. And it's like me, like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Are you trying to say they're trying to do the right thing and they're not getting the results?
they're not getting the results that they
Yeah.
want. They're misinformed of what's working and what isn't working, or what should work, or what, you know what I mean?
I do.
And coming back to, like, with your blood type, my whole life, I've never been a red meat eater. I've never been much of a meat eater
Not
at
really,
all.
haven't really liked it.
Never have. Like, I was tortured as a child.
Then eat your hamburger or whatever.
I mean, for one, I grew up on the farm, right? I was Charlotte from Charlotte's Web. Or not Charlotte, I was Fern from Charlotte's Web. Friends with all the animals, you know what I mean, on the farm. I didn't want anybody slaughtered. I didn't want that to be dinner, you know what I mean? So
I do know what you mean.
yeah, and they weren't as kind as my brother is about provide, you know what I mean, the way that they did all that. And they definitely weren't kind as, like, the way that they broke the news to you that this was your pig that you were walking yesterday, or that we should even be eating pork at all.
Oh, quick side tangent on my top 100 things I've learned. I can't eat pork.
Really?
It makes me hurt. Don't ask me why. Some people say nitrites. I've noticed that getting bacon without those things is helpful, but overall I just stay away from pork. That's me personally.
Same.
And no one has ever told me that. I just noticed it. I start hurting. But yeah, I need to make a list of all the stupid things. Not stupid things.
But
all the little
things-
things, I should say.
Yeah, that add up. I mean, they really do.
Do you want to go try and see if we can see some deer, or do you want to go back to the car?
Yeah.
Are you still
Cool.
good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good for about another hour or so.
Okay,
Because
I'm
I
gonna see
want
if
to
we
get
can-
into, I didn't intend for this to all be about health and
Oh, you're
wellness
good.
and mindset, but I definitely want to get into how all of that ties into what you're doing today for work.
What I'm doing for work?
So but your background,
Yep.
engineer, civil engineering?
Actually, in college I was a civil engineer, but I switched, long story short, to mechanical.
Okay.
That's a funny story, but yeah, I've got a mechanical engineering degree, and that's where I did my college. We're going to do some meandering here.
Cool.
I've never cut through this way, but I know where I'm trying to get to.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're good.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
good. And then, so you worked in aviation, though, at Tinker for most of your career.
19 years. Yep. Probably the 19 worst years of my life.
Oh, goodness.
It was horrible. I knew after the voice,
Yes.
after 2 weeks, I should have left.
Oh, goodness.
But I did not think I was smart enough to go do anything else, and so I stayed, and I'm going to make a long 19-year story short. It was a toxic culture, and it continued to get progressively worse. I had to leave when I left. And there was a bunch of little things, but it was mainly people. And the other weird thing that the voice was telling me the whole time was, or my conscience, sitting in the fake light every day just drained me
with no windows
so much. And I could tell you about mold problems that weren't reported.
Yeah. That's the corporate life. Same reasons I left. I mean, other than I just ran out of sick leave and had to.
So the weird thing was the lights were draining me. There was no windows 9 hours a day, just you can't see outside. And there was mold problems they weren't telling us about, and all that stuff has affected me. But I swear the thing that drained me the most was the lack of honesty by what we were doing, why we were doing it, what was going on. Let's call it that vibe or that energy. That drained me more than anything, and I didn't know that was what it was until it was time to get the heck out of there. It was, everyone was...
That's powerful, man.
Everyone above me was... I don't know what I sound like, but I'm just trying to be as honest as possible.
It's very compartmentalized, though. So you don't tell your right hand what the left hand is doing in that world. So
you lied to your right hand about what it was horrible, and it was horrible. So I actually ended up reporting some things that I thought were absolutely horrible that were happening to other people, and they were all willing to testify about it. And the investigator that was assigned to my case, that read my report and all my witnesses and everything, was ready. He used to work with the person that was leading the whole division that I was filing the complaint against, and they said, we found no reason to pursue this any further. What do you want from this? And I was like, what? Are you serious right now? It was horrible. So, in fact, one guy was treated so horribly, and I'll get off this tangent after this story. One guy was treated so horribly by leadership. We would normally be out the door at 4 every day. I mean, we're gone. We want to get out of there. We sat in the parking lot till 7 p.m. talking, and he was telling me about how if, quote, air quotes, he was suicidal, the meeting he just had with leadership that I was in would have sent him over the edge. And if he was thinking about...
he's not.
I sat there for 3 hours knowing what he was saying, and we sat in the parking lot until the sun went down and just talked. And the way he was treated by this specific leader that everybody had a problem with, I was in the meeting, and it was it was horrible the way he was treated. I'll just leave it at that. And so that was the beginning of the end for me, and I had to get away from that culture. And everyone is like, you get conditioned. It's like the frog in the frying pan. You're like, oh, this is okay. Everyone else is sitting in here. Yeah. I was dying, dude. So I had to leave, and I left last November.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's just been a skyrocket of success ever since?
I've realized I'm smart enough to do anything I want to do, pretty much.
Yes!
I've never thought that. I've realized everyone is confused about the same stuff I am, but nobody's asking questions.
Right?
I shouldn't use such extreme words, but most people are confused about most of the things.
Yes, I hear you.
And so I have less stress now.
Yeah.
I understand my work. I enjoy my work more. I think I'm making the world a better place, not a worse place.
Yes.
And here's the weird thing. Usually if you're going to take that type of route, you have to take a pay cut. I'm getting paid more. And I'm like, how am I just getting all 7s right now? That doesn't make any...
Great.
I've done nothing to deserve this.
Yes, you have. You've spent your whole life pouring into others and just trying to really live it fully, and you absolutely deserve every bit of success.
Yeah, so I really appreciate that. I to be completely transparent, I'm at a place where I've realized that, or this is where I'm at now, I don't know how much credit I can take for anything. I don't know how much choice I really have in life.
Yeah.
And that sounds odd, but like, I didn't get to choose my height, my shoe size, the year I was born, my parents, my IQ. These are just things that were kind of like I hit the genetic lottery, if you will, and I got whatever hand was dealt to me. And so while I'm the conclusion I keep coming to, whether you want to argue about how much free will we have, whatever the answer is, I just know that I'm grateful.
Exactly.
I'm just grateful that there's all these issues I could tell you about with depression or anxiety, or this coworker treated me horribly, and that's all true. But on the other end of it, I mean, I pulled my hamstring the other night playing kickball. I'm getting to play kickball.
Right.
Which one do you want to focus on?
Right, exactly.
So cool that I got to play kickball at my age and have fun doing it.
Yes, exactly.
Things bother me less now. And so...
Able to let things roll off your back more.
Not as much. I'm not where I want to be, but
Yeah.
I'm way healthier than I used to be.
Yeah.
Everything used to get me worked up. And I didn't have a healthy way of venting, so it just bottled up. Which is probably why my beard is almost fully gray at my age already. So I went off on some tangents. I worked at the Air Force 19 years, and I switched to the FAA last November, and it's been great.
So, are you self-employed? Or you...
No, I'm doing aerospace engineering for the FAA full-time. And then for fun, in my spare time, I like to do firearms coaching.
Okay.
And I like coaching, period.
Yes.
I get asked to, sometimes I'll coach jiu-jitsu when the other coaches are out. I love teaching.
Yeah.
Love it. But firearms has been kind of my, let's call it hobby/passion for the last 4 years. And somebody else saw that I enjoyed it. They wanted to start doing it. They asked me to coach them 3 years ago. So I started coaching, and it slowly trickled into what it is now. And I'm usually teaching a class at least once a month with about a dozen students.
Okay.
Once a month, just having some fun and helping people feel more comfortable, confident, safe with a firearm.
Yeah.
God forbid they ever needed to use it.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. It's cool to watch people go from so intimidated or nervous or just, overwhelmed
Yeah.
to in a 4-hour class, they are ecstatic.
Yeah.
They feel so comfortable. I get all this positive feedback about how much better people feel because there's all the crazy stuff in the world, and now maybe they can handle it
Yeah.
a little bit better than they did 4 hours ago. So
Right.
I love that. I love people feeling empowered.
Yes. That is the best. So you're doing about one class a month, you said?
Yeah, I typically do one a month, but that's my goal. We take off December, January, February because my training's outside.
So cold, yeah.
And it's so cold, but it probably averages out like the 9 months, March through November. I probably average closer to 2 classes a month.
Nice.
Plus private lessons, but my goal is 1 a month when we can get outside. Minimum is 1 a month.
Yeah. We really have a lot more mild weather here in Oklahoma than people realize, I feel like, overall. But and way more, I feel like, great days than we do bad days. But it's just so unpredictable.
Yep.
You just can't.
I've only had 2 complaints. They've both been weather related. In 3 years of coaching, however many,
Nice.
over 100 students, I've had 2 complaints. One of them was an August class. They're like, it was so hot. I'm like, yeah, it's August in Oklahoma. It's probably what you're going to get.
Yeah.
But then I always joke around and say, but luckily you'll never have to use a gun when it's hot outside, right?
Exactly.
So you get to learn how to deal with sweat in that month.
Yeah.
And then the other complaint was I had to cancel a class because a thunderstorm was coming in.
Oh, no.
And it's like, well, you can't.
Yeah.
I understand why you're frustrated. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And the kicker was I canceled the class and it didn't rain a drop.
Of course.
And it was supposed to be this monsoon for sure. And
Right.
the forecast kept getting worse all week. And then, so I was like, I got to cancel, guys. We can't train in lightning. It was a beautiful morning. Nothing happened. That's Oklahoma.
Yeah, it is.
So now I'm just taking us. I thought we were going to see deer over there, but they weren't there.
That's okay. I mean, I kind of get to dodge them every once in a while, just driving home.
Yeah. Sun up, sundown. That's when they start moving.
Yeah. I drink a lot of water this morning, of course. Trying to hydrate, don't prepare. I've already urinated 6 times this morning, but still.
Do you want to try and find your way back to the parking lot?
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like we need to. But I didn't realize that you had switched to the FAA. That's nice. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
most people don't, but I did. We're going to jump this and go back to the parking lot.
Okay. Well, that's awesome.
It's been fun. I just yesterday finished my 5-week, what they call the FAA indoctrination course. Which I hate that word. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
You learn how they talk, what terms they use, what terms they... This is my favorite. This will sum up the whole course. You ready? There's a definition about who can own an aircraft in certain situations, and they say a person can own an aircraft. You'll have to go to this Code of Federal Regulations to find the definition of a person. A person can also be a company. I'm like, so words don't really mean... So you're reading all this legal stuff.
It's like English language.
And a lot of the words don't mean what they mean.
No, I mean, literally, a lot of the words in the Bible, like, have not been translated properly. And there's so many people that hang their whole entire life and every second of their decision making on the Old Testament sometimes, and it's really strange to me. I don't know. We could have a whole conversation about religion and...
Oh, I could talk to you for 2 hours about church, easy.
Right.
Or religion.
Not to talk bad about it. It's great. I think that however you do it, you need some form of guidance in your life.
It's a fantastic compass, I think.
Yes.
I think. One of my favorite clarifications are, you see how the Bible's written and then you find out what the root original words were and translate. One of my favorite ones was Psalms 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I'm God."
Yes.
And that's been a really powerful scripture for my life. That's always been helpful. My problem is usually I need to slow down and feel what I'm really feeling so I know what to do.
Yeah.
Rather than suppressing it through whatever I'm suppressing it with. Too much movement.
Yeah.
Run, cycle, kayak, whatever. But if you find the root word of that, the more correct interpretation, instead of be still and know that I'm God, it's cease striving and know that I'm God. Yeah. And it's a slightly different meaning.
Yeah.
I always liked that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm just...
Well, sometimes we take it way literally, and it's so metaphorically, and it can cover so many different things, but it's more about an overall mentality and releasing that response mechanism, you know what I mean? Like, usually, I mean, I know for myself, I've spent most of my life in fight or flight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really hard to, like we were talking about earlier, to retrain your brain and get out of that response, that automatic response to my OCD and my ADHD and, you know, all the things that keep me all worked up all the time, you know what I mean? Like,
you ever listen to Gabor Mate?
Gabor Mate?
I'm going to send you some stuff.
Okay.
You mentioned ADHD and OCD. Me too. And I realized I have had anxiety my whole life and didn't know it.
Yeah.
This man...
We weren't allowed to have anxiety. Shut the fuck up.
Quit
being a pussy. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I was raised.
I think...
You know, like, that, like, literally, that's how I was raised. Quit being a pussy. Like, that was my whole childhood.
Yeah. Mine was different, but it still caused... That was definitely the culture when we grew up.
It was the 80s, man.
I think
Do we have the exact same birthday, too? April 3rd?
We're a day apart.
You're the 4th? I'm the 3rd.
2nd.
Okay.
Yep. I think more accurately, mine was, rather than don't be a pussy, it was your problems don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So, and that was
an oversimplifying, but definitely when it comes to emotions, is, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
First of all, children are to be seen, not heard. Like, and you definitely don't ask questions. You know what I mean? You just,
oh my God.
You just comply.
And I had more questions than anybody.
Never relax. You better make sure that you're always doing something productive, because if you're not, you're going to be given something productive to do.
I didn't have that, but I know a lot of kids did.
Yeah. My
cousins did. All that said, though, I got to go back and say, like, I'm still grateful because I look at, I can tell you about all the things that you know, if I could change them, I'd change them. I wish they were different. If I had a crystal, or if I go back in time, right?
Hindsight.
But then you look at, that's just the progression of life.
Yeah.
And I had it better than my parents had it, and they had it better than their parents. I look at like what my great grandfather had.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He built the house out of cinder blocks, and and then now I see kids complaining because their 1,600-foot 2-car garage house costs too much. I'm like, you're 21 years old. Do you realize 3 generations ago, like that was you had to work your whole life for that?
Yes. Yes.
So we have it
wild.
150 years ago, right here where we're walking. The white man and the Native American were warring for this land. People were dying. Right here. I get the benefit of being born in the 80s, and it's 2025. There's this nice bridge and this nice park, and yes, I have trauma and anxiety and physical issues, but
that doesn't mean that I have a bad life.
Yeah, like I acknowledge those things. That there's things that that cause me, let's call them strife or pain.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm living in the best place, in the best time in history ever. So
yeah,
I'm grateful.
Yes.
I'm grateful.
Yeah. That's where I'm at, man. And I think that's how you, like, being grateful is how you, like, work with the universe. You know what I mean? Like, and the more you, like, do the things to keep you in that place, the more you just naturally fall into, I don't know, the things that good people do. You know what I mean? Like, it comes natural. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to not be a dirtbag at that point, you know? Like, and it's mostly fear driven. You take the fear out of it.
I agree. That was my motor.
Yeah.
My goal I heard a really cool speech by one of my chief engineers who retired, I don't know, let's say 5 or 6 years ago. And he used 2 words that struck me, and I was like, that's my goal. He goes, I need to leave. He told us about a vision. He was an Indian, and he was a chief engineer, and he's like, I had a vision. Long story short, it's time for me to go. I am content. And then I remember him talking about peace, and I was like, that's my goal.
Yeah.
I'm at peace, and I want to be content. If I'm not at peace and I'm not content,
yes,
what can I do?
Exactly.
What things can I control?
Yeah. That's the goal. I mean, definitely for me, I don't know if you've ever heard of, like, the concept
of...
You
need the restroom?
Oh, yeah, good. I was wondering if they had something like that. The goal of... Or the setting the intention for the year with, like, choosing a word.
Yeah, a lot of people do. That's a big church thing.
Yeah. Is it a church thing now, huh?
Well, I mean, a lot of churches I know
are
do that.
doing it now?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Pick a word for the year.
Yeah, that's cool. That's great. Yeah, so that mine this year is basically peace, because I've realized, like I was saying, like, you don't... Just because I had somebody that pissed me off on the highway doesn't mean that I have to have a whole bad day, or, you know what I mean? Like, or that because I had a bad day, I have a bad month, or my life sucks, or, you know what I mean? Like, you can find the joy regardless of what's going on in your life.
My problem with that is what you said, I understand intellectually, but emotionally when I get upset, I'm off the like, to get back on the rails.
Yeah.
I've realized it, like, a small thing will ruin my whole day. I think you dropped something, but...
my Kleenex.
Yeah. The one bad thing used to ruin my day. Now it ruins, like, a couple hours. So I'm getting better.
Yeah.
I'm getting better.
Well, it's like compartmentalization. You know what I mean? That's what I've figured out.
So you want to keep walking? You want to chill?
I think I better get going, actually. Man, I'm in the middle of... okay. My mom, we're sharing a car right now. Hers is... in the shop, the body shop, and we are building an apartment on the east side of my dad's shed, not shed, garage shop, for me, because I've been living in their travel trailer for the last year. Last February, not this last February, but February before, I was working full-time marketing in corporate, and for a place we had 13 locations across 6 states and 400 plus employees, and I was in charge of the employee retention, the customer retention, and brand awareness. Those are my 3 objectives, right? So we could talk for hours about leadership and culture. Your leadership is your culture, period. Like,
I agree.
If you have a turnover problem, you have a culture problem, and your culture problem comes from your leadership.
I agree.
So that's like, if I do make any kind of video next, like an actual, every once in a while I'll do some TikToks and give you some truth. You know what I mean? The no bullshit kind of type thing. And that's probably going to be my next one. Like, opening up just like that. Like, if you have a turnover problem, it's because you fucking suck as a leader.
I agree. The interesting thought about that for me, or the interesting thing I've learned, is that, we get upset because it's like you have this responsibility and you're not being responsible. You're not leading. You're not taking care of people. In fact, you're doing the opposite. And so what I've noticed is, a lot of us are upset about it, but it's the sure, I'll have some of those. It's the norm.
Yeah.
And so I got to realizing.
Yeah. That's what's so fucking tragic.
I agree, and I have moved from that mindset that you just said to how would I say this? When I first got sober, about 4 or 5 years ago, the thing that I liked was they said you can't control everybody. All you can do is keep your side of the street clean. And that changed my life in a big way because I realized I was worried about way too much stuff that I couldn't control. And so I'm not saying...
And that's anxiety.
life's got these weird little dichotomies, and I had to find this perfect balance that made me... And this was the balance. It was, yes, things suck, but me getting so upset is not helping it. Mm-hmm. Nor do I think I can change it.
Right.
And I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm not condoning it, but it's just life. Yeah. Just like people don't, to go extreme here, nobody wants to die. That's life.
But nobody wants to live either. You know what I mean? There's a meme I saw recently that literally it's like the parents that will say, I'll die for my kid. I'd do anything for them.
Oh, correct.
And it's like, yeah, but would you actually live for them? Would you do the things to like live your life fully every day? Or are you going to live in fear? And operate from a place of fear? You're right.
And as I wrestle with all these different thoughts that are true, and they almost seem to contradict each other, but they don't. It's just life. And that's the conclusion I keep coming back to is life is hard. Life is suffering. And it's a gift.
Yeah.
So.
And you don't actually have to suffer as much as we've been conditioned to believe.
The culture sucked. And I wish I'd have left 19 years ago and not but I didn't.
And you had a purpose.
And here's where I'm at.
While you were there. And that got you to where you are now.
And if I ever, let's say I had kids, which would be cool, they're going to have they're going to have their own set of problems.
Little babies.
Oh yeah, I told you. But their life's going to be a little bit better than mine was. They're going to probably talking about mental health is going to be more of an acceptable thing in there.
Absolutely.
Whereas when I grew up, I'm
going to break the cycle.
But they'll have their own issues. They'll be dealing with AI and get cyberbullying, or I don't know.
That's no bullshit, dude.
Life is suffering, but it's a gift, and that's both those things can be true.
Yeah. Both and yeah.
So I mean, if somebody wants to complain about leadership or doctors or church leader, whatever it is, hey bro, I got experience. I'll talk to you all day about that. That gets me. That's an engaging conversation.
Right.
But
I want to talk about solutions. You know what I mean? Like the empowerment piece of it. Like, let's create something amazing together and empower people. And like, that's the conversation that I want to say. You know what I mean? I'm up here in the fucking clouds. Like, people ask me all the time, like, what'd you do yesterday? And I'm like, fuck 'em. I know I sat on the toilet probably a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
shit, I don't know. I have to come out of the clouds to communicate normal stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm the opposite. I think I'm busy doing something all of the time.
well, I am in my head. Like,
No, I'm like,
I'm creating, I'm doing, and I'm physically doing things all the time too. But I spend a lot of time by myself. You know what I mean? Like, I swear my introvert is introverted. Like, I'm constantly,
oh, really?
oh yeah, like this is a rarity for me to get out and have a conversation and be around people, and like I enjoy it when I do, but I also am very much an alchemist. I have to be very intentional about protecting my energy and that kind of stuff because people can zap it out of me really quickly. You know what I mean?
I do.
So I have to be very intentional about who I spend time with, quality over quantity, and making sure that I'm really taking care of myself on the back end when I'm not engaging. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I don't know if it's because I like feel so intently and so intensely, so deeply about things. I'm a very passionate person about a lot of different things. You know what I mean? Like I just mostly about people and about how mostly by our choices, even choosing our thoughts, is how we make our life so miserable. You know? Like the suffering doesn't have to be, we don't have to suffer as bad as we do. It's the perspectives that we bring that usually
I
are
agree.
what making us miserable.
I agree. And I also think you had to, tell me if you disagree, I also think you had to go through all the things you've been through
To gain
to
that
realize what
perspective.
you just got. Yeah, yeah. So it's
Exactly.
like,
So yeah, and you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And so it's like you're so passionate about people and about people succeeding and empowering others, and let's just do, let's just live life to the fullest, man. You know what I mean? Like, but it's that finding that balance of like learning how to just be content in the season that you're in. You know what I mean? Like really being very happy and content with what is right now. I'm not a workaholic anymore. You know what I mean? Where I have been my whole life, I'm really putting my energy into healing right now. And that's what's funny about me too, is like I realize that while I have given up one vice and okay, I've conquered that, I just exchange it for something else. Like, okay, I'm
I've
not a
realized,
workaholic anymore, but I still on the back, I'm doing podcasting, I'm doing all the things,
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
My latest, uh, I have my, how would I say this? This is going to be a weird statement, but there's some truth to it. It's like wrong, but it's right. I don't know how else to say this, but I can,
Loving you is wrong.
I get, I've continued, I realize, to trade one vice and get rid of a bad vice for a slightly healthier
There you
vice.
go.
They're still unhealthy.
Upgrade a little bit.
Yeah, they're still bad. They're just bad in a different way.
I was wondering why people keep stopping here.
Yeah, this is like the worst spot for me to sit for a
It's okay.
podcast, but
It's okay.
wherever the cars are stopping. But yeah, going from like, let's say alcohol, now my vice is my phone, and I didn't realize I was addicted to my phone, but I am, and I realize why now. So now I get to start working on that.
But you
And
can at least control the content. You know what I mean? Like, so years ago, everybody, back in like 2011, 12-ish, it's right around my first divorce. And, which by the way, I wasn't ever a person who was like, yeah, I'm going to get married so I can get divorced one day.
nobody does that.
Divorced twice now, you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh.
Does that.
A whole other podcast on that too, but about choosing quality, learning how, like, we're not empowering our youth to make good decisions. We're not teaching them how to make good decisions. Like, we just think that if we lead by example, then they'll just naturally follow suit, right? It'll just happen. And a lot of times it does, right? But I feel like for me anyways, our family was very private. You didn't air your dirty laundry. You didn't shame the family. You didn't talk about anything that wasn't
Yeah,
surface level safe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like I made a lot of decisions just out of ignorance, just surely not having the information to make a good decision and not realizing that you can seek out information outside of college to educate yourself so that you can be well-rounded, so that you can make good decisions even though you didn't have those examples in your life. You know what I mean? Like, I had great examples for parents. Like, they're very strong morals, character, you know, religious. The foundation is just fantastic, right?
Yeah.
But we kind of lack in our family when it comes to coping skills. You know what I mean?
I do.
Thankfully, we didn't go the route of like drugs and alcohol abuse, but we had other vices and other toxic traits and things that we've had to work through. You know what I mean? So I don't know where I'm going on my little soapbox here, but
You want to empower youth
yeah.
and help them. If you'd have had a little more information, you could have saved a lot of heartache, basically.
Yeah, so much. But like you said, you know, you don't get that perspective until you go through it. And I think also though, like you're not open to different perspectives until you kind of come across, like, I got into network marketing, if you will, through Arbonne back in early 2000s, 2005. And I felt really insecure. One, I've never been a salesperson. Like, I just, if you want to freak Jen out, let's talk about money. You know what I mean? Oh my God. If you want to send me from 0 to 1,000 and uncomfortable, oh my God, let's talk about money. So, I mean, instant. Like, I feel it, like rush of flush and goosebumps, and I just don't feel good even mentioning it. You know what I mean? It's so weird.
Right now. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, anyways, and then if you want me to get me really riled up, like instantly, is talk about some kind of injustice, like, you know, where people are being gaslit into some kind of, especially medical gaslighting. Like, that's something that I have endured throughout my whole adulthood. You know what I mean? It's a real thing where I was 21 years old, and my husband was deployed. And they kept telling me that the pain that I was having, this horrible flank pain that I was having for like every time I would eat, and for years this went on. They told me it was depression and put me on antidepressants.
When you were 21?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was my fucking gallbladder. That by the time I finally got it removed, it was full of stones and completely diseased. I'd lived with this pain for 2 years. On antidepressants, by the way. At 21 years old. Because you're too young. There's this thing that they call it, it's like the 5 F's. Female, fat, 40, fertile, and something else. And I was
Fine.
female. You know what I mean? Like that's it. That was it. So there's no way that I was having a gallbladder problem at 21 years old. You know what I mean? There's no way that was possible. And then long, extensive history of endometriosis, and the same thing there. Like, this breast problem that I've been dealing with now was biopsied in 2005.
Okay.
And they told me that it was nothing to worry about. Well, 20 years later, I had stage 4 metastatic breast cancer.
How many years later? How many? 20? Yeah.
20. And at the time, they told me that it wasn't even existent. It didn't even exist. Like, I was all in my head because I was too young. I was 25 at the time. And my grandmother was going through breast cancer, and it was all in my head. It was sympathy because of what she was going through.
You've just helped me kind of revise one of my, let's call it, mantras or philosophies. The conclusion I've come to on a lot of stuff is life is suffering, but it's a gift. Both those things are true, but another way to say that might be life is unfair, but it's a gift.
Yeah.
Like, that would suck, to be in pain, ask for help, and then be told the wrong solution, or you're not feeling pain. That would actually be worse to me, is you're not, hey, I know you had something wrong with your breast, but nothing.
Yeah.
And then 20 years later, you're like, mother, I told y'all
Yeah.
And you just, so it's like, that's unfair.
But it's a weird thing, because is it destiny? Like, did God have this planned for us, right? He knows our hair before, whatever, however, every hair on our head, or whatever those terms are, right? You know what I mean?
I do.
Not to, whatever.
Get on the pulpit, that's fine.
Not trying to make fun of them, but, So, is it that? Is it our predetermined destiny? Or is it our vibe attracts our tribe, and our overall vibe and feeling that we have, that we hold consistently, is what creates our experiences? If we think and feel a certain way for a whole long time, are we helping create these types of experiences? If we are forecasting doom and gloom, that the church has been telling my dad was going to happen since he was a little boy.
Every generation since forever.
You see what I'm saying?
I do. And we're all on our own journey, but for me, I have moved. Okay, one way to sum up a lot of things we've talked about is, for me, the solution ends up coming back to balance. Mm-hmm. I tend to be an extreme person. And so I have moved from thinking everything in my life is my fault, and I have performance anxiety, and I'm going to control everything.
Yeah.
I have all the free will in the world.
Yeah.
And everything's my fault if I don't like it.
Right.
I've moved now to the other end of the extreme, which I'm going to probably end up learning is I need to get in the middle somewhere. But I've moved to, I have control of nothing.
Nothing.
It feels as though
we can influence
just where I'm at,
but control ultimately.
Like, I just feel like when you start the game, here's what I feel like. You ever played pinball? Mm-hmm. I feel like God pulls the little plunger back and sends the ball around the deal, right? He starts He starts the game for us. And I have no idea what I'm talking about, so if people are listening to this, don't
don't hang your hat on it.
This works for me, right? So God has started the game. I don't know why this analogy has been coming to me for like a month, but I have control of the flippers, right? And I can hit the flipper, and the pinball can go up and hit 100 points and come back, and I know how to get to that little 100-point bouncy thing every time. But sometimes I'll try and go do something different, and I don't know exactly what the ball's going to do. It may get 1,000 points, it may go down a hole and I lose the ball, but there's areas of the board that I don't control. The ball is just going to kind of, let's call it, randomly do what it does.
Right.
I feel like a lot of life for me is the pinball is bouncing around, and whatever gravity and the machine do, I get some points, I get no points. I'm not controlling that. I feel like that's most of life, and every once in a while, I feel like usually about once a day, honestly, the ball hits the flipper and I get to decide when to hit it and how to hit it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have a ton of control, but
we do with our choices. Every moment is a choice, an opportunity to choose one way or another, and that's what creates our path, right?
The only difference between me and you is I think that I get about one choice a day.
Really?
I know that sounds very odd, but I feel like there is this, let's call it sensation that happens once a day, and I'm like, you get to change the trajectory of your life slightly today.
Kind of like the butterfly effect.
Yep. Or everything else is the butterfly effect, but this is the point at which you get to decide, and everything else is the same. You're going to go to work, you're going to make breakfast, you're going to eat dinner, you're going to go to bed, you're going to take a shower. All that's
given.
All those general things. You're going to go grocery shopping, you're going to do laundry, you're going to whatever, do dishes. All that stuff is kind of Groundhog Day most days.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
There's minor variances, but like maybe once a day I can go, you know what, right now I can...
That is a tiny tick.
Is it really? Yeah, it is. Right now I can get on my phone or read a book. That may be the only choice I get for the day. And so I'm going to start trying to read the book instead of choose my phone. But the rest of it is all, dude, you're 45.
No, I agree. I mean, it's like quality over quantity. There's all these quantity of choices every day, but there's only a moment.
There's a bunch of stuff you have to do.
Right.
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff you're just going to do, I should say.
The autopilot stuff that
Yeah, that's one way to think about it, and we'll just leave it there for right now. But yeah, I feel like there's I don't think we have as much choice as a lot of people believe. I could be wrong about that. I'm wrong a lot, but that's just my honest opinion.
So you think maybe more like the predetermined destiny type thing, that God has a plan and it's all
Good question.
orchestrated and
That's
like
that's
unfolding.
a great question. I'm glad you asked that. This might be a good spot to like end it and let you go, because I know you need to leave. But I've noticed in life, if you've noticed anything, there's a ton of these what I call false dichotomies. A lot of people say it's either this or it's this.
Right. Right.
And everyone's like, oh, it's either Republican or it's Democrat.
Yeah.
It's modern medicine or it's natural
Liberal
medicine.
or conservative.
It's free will or it's predestination. And what I'm learning is the answer is actually different than that. It's either neither of those things. Oftentimes it's neither. Or it's both of those things, or something else you're not even thinking about. And I'll give you a quick example of something that it's an example. If what I'm sharing is wrong, don't hold me to the data, right? But this is just an example to understand what I mean by false dichotomy.
Yeah.
For years.
Oh my God, what's the easiest way to get ticks off of you? Like, these are little tiny ones. Like, all of these that I've done this, that's been a tick each time.
I'm probably just going to go home and take a shower is what I'm going to do, but I don't know. Should have sprayed our feet maybe.
I wonder if there's like a certain kind of soap or something that... Huh.
Yeah, I just go home and try and rinse them off before they dig in. Yeah. But here's the false dichotomy that started my thought on this 10 years ago. In the church, there's this debate over what causes people to be gay. Is it you're born that way, or is it a choice?
Right.
And those are the two camps, whether you're in church or not. Those are the two camps. Right. You either chose it, or
there's either two generations or two genders, or there's not.
Or you're born that way. And this guy who was gay spent a bunch of money trying to answer the question scientifically.
Yeah.
And the conclusion he came to was it's neither. He found out from, and I'm going to oversimplify a bunch of data. There's a whole documentary you can watch, but he found with at least 93% of just gay men, we'll just talk about gay men, 93% of them, they weren't born that way and they didn't choose it. Something traumatic happened to them when they were younger, molested by an aunt, molested by an uncle, something.
Same with women.
And it warped their idea of healthy sexuality. And so now they had this, they wanted acceptance from men in an unnatural way because something very traumatic happened in their formative years. 93% of the time. So did they choose that? No. Were they born that way? No. But everyone's talking about this or this. Now, that's just a story to tell you why I think there's a lot of false dichotomies. Do I have free will? Is it predetermination? I don't know. But I can tell you that I don't have complete free will. And I also don't think everything's predetermined.
Yeah.
I think it's a mixture. But I'm sure I'm going to learn more as I go on my journey. Either way.
I don't think I that's where I've concluded. Like, it's a beautiful dance at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I think the biggest thing is getting rid of all the titles, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's an ebb and flow. I think that we have opportunities that have the possibility of a bigger impact however we choose. And there's definitely a whole lot of, I don't know, I'm in this weird space right now where, like, you know, kind of like a blend between like the Truman Show and Sims. Like, did you see the Truman Show?
I did not. Was that with Jim
Carrey and everybody's watching him?
I did not see that one.
It's a trip, man. But not really. I really haven't really thought about it until recent years, and I haven't seen it in 20 years. You know what I mean? But more and more this day and age, it's like how many of these people are NPCs or clones? They think, here, I'm getting really weird, like way off into that weird tinfoil hat world, right? But they say that, okay, funny little line is the difference between a conspiracy theory and truth, like real truth,
Time.
is about 6 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say time.
You know what I mean? So, oh my gosh, yeah. Like they say that before, like when we finally hear about something, oh, today we perfected cloning. We figured out how to do it. Well, they've been doing that for at least 50 years. You know what I mean? They perfected it for at least 50 years. You know what I mean? I'm just weird like that. Like there's so much that we will never know, even when it comes down to God. And
I agree.
you know what I mean? Like
I
would never put God in a box. Like
I agree.
And I think that I have a really hard time sometimes believing all of the suppression that comes from the Bible, because
like what? Give me an example.
Well, I mean, maybe that is free will, and that is the whole, denying yourself and all of that.
Well,
but I feel like, I don't know where I was going with that.
Suppression.
I'm itching like crazy right now. It's really
talking about conspiracy theories, and you don't know if the suppression in the Bible is real.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Clones
And all the NPCs and all the things.
What's
like
NPC?
Like a non-playing character in a video game.
Oh, okay.
Think about Sims. Like,
okay.
Did you ever play Sims? I never played Sims. It was actually behind. Like,
I did play a
after
game called Sim City in the 80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That was it.
Yeah, where you've got maybe one person or character that is actually like a soul-driven, like and everybody else is just kind of
NPC.
Androids.
I've never heard that. Okay.
You know what I mean? Clones, androids, just walking around as, those filler characters that you may or may not interact with. And what are they there for? Are they an obstacle? Are they a choice? Are they, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's all, you just don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think we'll ever know until we're gone, until my body stops breathing and I go into the next phase of whatever this world experience, whatever this is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what helped me find contentment, was to finally accept there's a lot of things I don't know, and I'll never know.
I'll never know.
There's
like the beauty in the unknown.
Yeah. For me, just to
instead of the fear, because I feel like that's
I don't know a million things. I don't know a trillion things. But I do know I want to go eat breakfast right now. So what a cool day. I'm going to go enjoy breakfast. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like to be content.
And being content in the simple things. Like
I eat the same thing every day for breakfast, but it's the thing that I really like to eat, and it's really healthy for me. I'm happy eating breakfast every day. I don't know if everybody enjoys it. What is it? I mean, I found some bread I really like. It's called Ezekiel bread.
Yeah.
There's this Butterball pre-made breakfast turkey sausage that I make, and a fried egg, and spinach and carrots and olive oil. Very simple, real quick.
Everything you need.
I really enjoy it. And then here's my big...
Probably feel great every day.
Have you ever heard of stevia?
Uh-huh.
There's a soda that they make called Zevia. I freaking love those things.
Really?
And so I'll drink one of those after breakfast, and it's like... I'm super, it's super enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
Super enjoyable. It's a breakfast. Something that I eat.
Most important meal of the day.
Yeah.
And if you can start with protein, best. You know what I mean? It's those life hacks. Like, what are they, like, biohacking. Like, optimizing. You know what I mean? Like, my brain is so weird. Like, it's...
Your brain's normal.
Well, it is. But I pick up on patterns really quickly. Like I'm constantly ignoring patterns all throughout the day. But anyways, what were we just talking about? I don't know what is wrong with my brain right. I guess it's over. We're done. It's done. We're on the last little, like, the bars of like the battery usage, voltage, or whatever. I think we're down at the bottom.
You're at the red. You're on 3%. It's time to plug in the cord.
I think that's the problem.
But you also, I
over.
think, are
ADD,
yeah, you're
extreme.
easily excitable because you're a highly sensitive person, and so everything, or not everything, but a lot of things can easily excite you,
Yeah, get super jazzed.
and that's good. That's a
Super
gift.
jazzed. It is if you can figure out how to work with it. Something I've been trying to embrace the last couple of years is figuring out like all of these ways that my brain works are if I can learn how to use them as gifts, see them as gifts, then you know what I
That's the
mean?
one
My
thing.
advantage. Okay, so efficiency is what I was trying to fucking get to. This is not an example of that whatsoever, okay? But that's usually my first filter is efficiency. You know what I mean?
I do.
And everything else after that, like it makes it so much more manageable, I feel like. Because
Yeah.
I can quickly weed out all the bullshit and let's get down to what really matters pretty quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the old, you ever heard of the Pareto principle?
Pareto
Pareto.
principle.
Yeah, some scientist, I think a foreign scientist, basically figured out all throughout nature and everywhere else there's this 80-20 principle. Have you heard of the 80-20 rule?
Yeah.
That's the Pareto principle.
Okay.
And so one of the things that you can learn from the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule is 20% of your tasks and your effort produce 80% of your results. So pick the top one or two things you need to do today and forget the noise.
Yes. Yes.
And that has been another thing that's changed my life the past 5 years.
Yeah.
What you just said.
Yep.
Get to the efficient thing. Let's get to what matters, because the day's going to be over and it's time for breakfast again. Like, it's just going to be Groundhog Day. So, and that's the one or two things you get to pick for the day. I feel like, what am I going to do? Okay, and that sets the motion for the whole day.
It does. It does. 100%. It's that intentional living, and like what you do in the very first part of your day literally sets up your whole experience. I mean, and that's the energy part of it. That's the vibe part. You know what I mean? Like you're influencing your vibe that is going to literally attract your experiences throughout the day by the content that you're starting your whole day with, whether it be your mind, your food, your body, the fuel you're giving it, those kinds of things.
I've noticed a lot of things, but one is I've changed my words with people. I was raised that we are buddies if I make fun of you, and I still love to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like your hat looks really dumb. It's a nice hat. Did they make it? Like,
Yeah.
if I saw a buddy, like, those are nice shoes. They make them for men.
Yeah.
You know, like, just
Like a backhanded compliment.
giving
Yes.
shit all the time, right? And that I just love that because I grew up around it. But I've realized most people don't take it that way, especially if they don't know me. But I just talk to everyone like they're my friend from. And so I started changing my words, and I've been shocked and fascinated at the response I get back by how much people not just like me, but how happy it makes them. Because I am bonding when I say, hey, do I make those shoes for men? And we all laugh. But if I say, like, hey, man, you're I don't know, saw your daughter playing softball the other day, and you're a really good coach, that's a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
And so to be more intentional with saying the positive things that I'm thinking, but I never say.
Yes. Complimenting people when you think it. Like, I think it all the time. And I'll go through the drive-thru and I'll see somebody that's really pretty or really kind, or they just have good skills, you know, charisma and that kind of thing. And I'll just tell them. Like, it's called, like, positive affirmation. It's a thing that you do with children and dogs. You reward them.
Correct. You do it with humans too.
Yes.
Or adults.
Yes. Well, if you really want to be manipulative, then you get really good at it. You know what I mean?
You could use it for manipulation.
I mean, it's a matter of just being grateful. It's the same thing. It's being grateful for what is, so that maybe we'll encourage that behavior. You know what I mean? Kind of type thing.
That has really set the tone for my days, is saying honest, nice things. Not being fake or going out of my way to say something nice if it's disingenuine, but if I think something and it's genuine, to say it.
Yeah. It really brightens people's day.
To be inquisitive with people, like, did you get a new pair of shoes? Like, I noticed that. That could open up a 20-minute conversation about something that has nothing to do with shoes.
Yeah.
So
finding that common ground, a way to connect with people.
Just starting your day off with good words, good food, like it
Goes a long way.
my days are much simpler now. They're still busy, but they're simpler and more content. I miss telling someone their shoes are gay or whatever, but like it's worth the cheap laugh is fun, but it's like sugar. It just tastes good for like right now, and then
Right.
and then it doesn't pay back the rest of the day.
Yes.
So
That's
now-
a good way.
So now I'm like, eat a bowl of rice. Feel good the rest of the day. Say good things. Say honest things. That's the big thing. Say honest things. Like when I tell people that when I really talk to people about my depression journey, and I tell them the details, that really seems to help people a lot.
Yeah.
And I am slightly uncomfortable talking about it, but it's the truth, and so I just say the truth, and that makes both of us feel better.
So what, to close this all out,
Let's do it.
coping skills, what would you say, like, top 3 things that you're reaching for? And to me, it's an ebb and flow. I mean, there's some days that I may need something more of something else, you know what I mean? Or maybe I come across something else that's a little more useful, or, whatever. But is there anything that comes to mind when I say coping skills that have really been something that has helped you, that's been really impactful to overcome those things that we haven't talked about, or even the things that we have that we can just reiterate?
To overcome like
The depression or
anxiety,
daily
like,
struggles of those things.
the 3 you said coping skills?
Yeah. Anything that's really helped you manage those.
As we've walked around today, you've helped me realize I've had all these thoughts about all these things I've changed in the past 5 to 10 years that I forgot. Oh, you changed that and you did that. I didn't realize I've done so many things. So you're asking for 3. I'll just share the first 3 that come to mind that I'm using right now. Your mileage may vary depending on where you're at in your journey, but I guess we kind of already talked about it. I think this is absolutely the best. The first 2 I can think of that are the best is to follow the voice, and you got to get still enough to hear the voice, to hear your conscience. I call it your conscience.
Yeah.
Heed your conscience. It is always right. I don't always do it. I'm not always still enough to do it. And even when I am still enough to do it and I hear it, I don't always follow it. But when I do, that has led to that is a fantastic, let's call it coping skill. You get more in tune with who you are and what you really want to do with your life. And life becomes more exciting.
Yeah.
It becomes more of an adventure and less of a task.
Yes.
So
See, sorry to cut you off. My whole website, it's about gaining clarity, like, and making a big impact. Like, if you can get really clear about where we're going, where we're headed, what the path is, what the ultimate goal is, then yeah.
Yeah, so I just thought of my third one. Yeah, perfect. So I would say follow your conscience. I forgot the second one though. So I would say
Listening to the you said
just follow your conscience. Do that. I would also say sometimes that can be overwhelming. So my second piece of advice for coping skills is people aim too high. Aim as low as possible. If you have something you feel like you need to be doing, let's say your conscience is telling you to change your diet. Pick the absolute easiest thing you can do to make that happen.
Build on it.
Do not you're going to get overwhelmed with I need to quit drinking Cokes, and I need to quit drinking liquor, and I need to quit eating carbs, and I need to start exercising, and I used to be this much weight in high school, and I used to bench 300, and you're going to get overwhelmed.
I totally agree.
Aim small.
Yeah. Small steps, and once you master that, then you can add something else.
Aim small.
Yeah.
Aim small. Little wins have a domino effect.
Yeah.
But
momentum.
But if you're like me, it's like everyone who tells me they want to join jiu-jitsu, they want to come train jiu-jitsu with me, 19 out of 20 don't show up. Why? Because they're going to get in shape before they come to jiu-jitsu. They don't want to, and I'm like, you'll get in shape while you do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But 19 out of 20 dudes do not show up. And I'm like, the hardest part is just show up to the gym, bro.
Yeah.
Just your mind is overwhelmed with how how insufficient you are right now. And I get that. You're worried about how bad you're going to get beat up and how hard you're going to be breathing. Your mind is making it way worse than it is. Just show up tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. That's the smallest thing you can do. Just show up.
Yeah. It really is.
And so
I can't tell you how many times I've gone somewhere and just sat in the parking lot and never gone in.
Just show up. Do the easiest, simplest, smallest thing. Aim low. And so follow your conscience, aim low, and I guess I don't remember what the other thing I was going to say is, but here's a good one. I would say for me, oh, yeah, I know what it was. Here it is. God, tell the truth, or at least don't lie.
Just be vulnerable and transparent with people.
I mean, you don't have to tell the truth if you don't want to, but don't lie. Hey, Brandon, why aren't you coming to the party tonight? Oh, I got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't got nothing going on, bro.
No,
but
man,
I've just derailed myself by telling that lie.
Yes.
I have decreased my potential for a good day, and there's something about the energy with a lie.
Yes.
Even if no one is involved and I'm lying to myself, you know?
That's what forecasting doom and gloom and that whole setting the intention and speaking life over things and speaking ill over things, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's where I'm at when I'm saying that. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that we have more of an influence over the outcome of our days and things just by our intentions, the way we set our day up.
Yeah, I think one of the things we do have a lot of control over, more than anything else, is do we get to tell the truth right now, or do we keep our mouth shut, or do we lie? And no is a complete sentence.
Yeah.
Coming to the party tonight, Brandon?
No.
And go on, get used to feeling uncomfortable about that.
Yes.
And go on about your day.
Yes.
Successful people are they excel because they're better at saying no.
Yeah.
It's not the things you need to say yes to. There's a lot of options every day, and if you can, tell the truth and say no if you need to. And then, if you tell the truth, if you follow your conscience, if you aim small, all the other stuff falls in this place. Your fitness, your diet, your mental health,
your relationships, the way you interact with others.
Getting to come and have a cool conversation with Jen Brown. This would not happen if I was still lying to myself, aiming too big, and not following my conscience. We wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
And so this has been good for me. It's really uplifting and fulfilling. And so cool stuff like this happens.
Yeah. You have to say yes to. Have you seen the movie Yes Man?
I haven't.
With Jim Carrey.
No.
I'm not even a fan of him, but
liar.
You know what I mean?
I said don't lie, and here you are.
I mean, he's funny enough, and actually I like more of his serious movies than I do his funny movies. Yes Man is a hilarious one. That Zoe Dotson's, however you say her name, Dotsonell or whatever. I don't know how you say her name.
I'm not a big movie guy.
She was on that show, if you watch any sitcom type stuff, where she's like a roommate with these guys, and it's just silly. But anyways, the whole premise of the movie is just saying yes instead of like, we totally could have rescheduled, right? Like, I'm all the way out in Bridge Creek. I totally just took off this morning, didn't even tell anybody where I'm at. I just left with the car, totally no regard for anybody needing it today. I just said, fuck it. We are doing this conversation. I've been planning podcasts. I've got several, like, that I've been talking. Okay, we need to get this scheduled. You know what I mean? I'd like to get, it's almost like I do it in seasons. I'm not very consistent with it. It's just an ebb and flow. It's very organic whenever it comes together, kind of thing. It's good for me, but it's not good for the algorithm, The whole, if I ever really want to reach more than just you and I, then I do need to be more consistent so I can train Google to get my stuff that I'm authority. I know I really want to be a player, so put me out there. Put me in coach,
Right.
But if you care about that stuff. And I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that would be great.
You do because you want to help people.
Exactly. I want to help others. But at the same time, I'm totally content if it's just one. And more than anything, it's therapy for me.
Right. You get to talk to me. I get to talk to you. We both benefited today.
Yeah.
If nobody else here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, one last thing about the classes that you're doing, the firearms training, and are you also doing a like a self defense, or is this what you would consider the self defense portion, or do you have more of a, because you are into jiu-jitsu and those kinds of things, like is that something that you offer also, or and is there anything in that subject realm that you really want to convey and get out there, like
Oh yeah,
use this as a moment to whatever it is, that
sure.
what's your message, whatever that is, get it out. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I don't do self-defense classes, like as far as hand-to-hand combat. I would love to do a women's self-defense class, but where I train, I think if there are any women in the Oklahoma City area listening to this, my friend Stephanie, who runs the gym with her husband at Python Martial Arts, she has started. She's going to beat me up for forgetting the name of it. Forever a Gypsy is
Okay.
what it's called.
I
Forever a
love that.
Gypsy. And they travel around to different gyms each week, 1 day a week, and they train together. So if you're in Moore this week, they're going to the gym in Moore, or Yukon, or and the same girls show up every week, and they end up picking up more, and they keep rotating around. So Forever a Gypsy, look it up on Facebook if you have Facebook, and they do women's only training. I have learned, although I may be knowledgeable and be able to really help women with training, the majority of women are uncomfortable around men when they're looking for that kind of thing. So Stephanie are still thinking about working something out, but for right now, I would tell you, especially women, if you want self-defense training, look up Forever a Gypsy. Stephanie and all the girls that are involved in that I've met are fantastic, and it can be a little scary, but they are super cool and they'll take care of you.
Awesome.
It's a great way to build confidence and learn some basic skills to get out of a situation.
I love that.
So I'm not teaching any of that right now. I just sporadically teach when the coaches aren't available at the gym on regular nights. You're welcome to come train at Python anytime. I think they give you a free week. Anybody wants to come, check it out. It's fun.
Where's it at?
Expressway, right between MacArthur and Rockwell,
Okay.
on the south side. Next to it's in the same parking lot as AutoZone.
Okay.
The last thing I would say, so I don't offer classes. And then is there anything I would tell people about that whole world? I would say two things. Bad stuff happens all the time. I'm not doom and gloom though. I am not. I get sent stuff all the time that happens right here in Oklahoma. I don't share it because I think it's too much negative energy and makes people too anxious. And just know,
It breeds more of it.
bad stuff happens. That could be active shooter. A 72-year-old gentleman was just shot. Police security guard was shot in the Enid Hospital this week. Stopped the shooter. They were able to stop the shooter, but senseless. Family of 4. One of the family members shot everyone else in the house, then shot themselves. That's a freaky one. My buddy just had a bear break into his house in the middle of the night, and so he had to shoot a black bear that was coming after him.
Yeah. You never know.
There was a young boy was killed recently by a dog attack. I saw a young lady had her son taken from her and abducted, and I was like, this still happens? This is on video?
Wow.
So I don't want to scare anyone. This is just normal everyday stuff this month.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about the whole year. And so bad stuff happens. I don't want people to be scared. I just want them to be aware and a little bit more prepared. And the best way you can do that, of course, I want you to come do training with me because I think I'm the best and I love doing it. But you don't even need to come take a class with me. The best thing you can freaking do for self-defense is to be aware of your surroundings. Get off your freaking phone. Keep your head up. This is true in nature. Like when a lion is stalking a group of gazelle, there'll be a bunch of gazelle with their heads up, and one is down eating grass or getting a drink of water. That lion locks in on the gazelle that is not paying attention.
Right.
And so if you just have your head up as a woman walking down a street, and you are aware of your surroundings, and the lions know that they will say you're not easy prey, and they'll look for something else. They do not want to cause a scene. They want to do what they want to do to you with as little of the public seeing as possible. Get your wallet, God forbid, rape, something like. They want to do it and not get caught and get out of there. So keep your head up. Follow your gut. But 99.9% of the time, situations can be avoided if you're just aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
The 0.1% of the time that doesn't help, I can teach you some stuff if you come take a class, but don't worry too much about all that. Stay aware, have fun, love your family, spread good vibes.
Yeah.
All that stuff's way more impactful and way more important. So
absolutely agree. I definitely do want to come take a class. I have I grew up on a farm, and all the guys were always shooting guns, but I was never into it, and I was a girl, and you don't get a chance to have a turn when you're in competition like that, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, okay, whatever, fuck y'all, and I'm out, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to go hug a tree while y'all are shooting your guns. So I never actually touched a gun until I was 31 years old and started at the arena doing glorified bartender, waitress, right? Taking care of the owner of the team. I did that for 8 seasons. Being assigned to his suite, he was like, you need to know how to use a weapon. If shit goes down, it's going to go down here, and we need, we got to make sure we're all prepared. And I was like, okay, well, you're going to have to show me how. So we went to H&H, and he showed me, everything about a weapon, how to handle it, I don't know all the lingo now. That was back in 2020, or what are we in? 25. So that was in 11. You know what I mean? But I haven't actually touched a gun since then either.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But what was interesting about it is I was a really good shot. Like every shot was a kill shot. I literally aimed and hit my aim every single time. So I was really proud about that. You know what I mean? But I know adrenaline and all the things is completely different situation than just sitting there with everything in a controlled environment in the gun range, right? So I know definitely that it would benefit anyone to be in more of a type of environment. From what I see on what the stuff that you're posting, that kind of thing, it seems to be more of a kind of a real time and definitely out in the elements, not in the little box that you're in the gun range, you know.
So. Yeah, it's helpful to hear gunfire around you, and I'll just quickly kind of do a shameless plug.
Please do.
It's because you're going to release this Tuesday, so I have 5 classes left this year, and 3 of them are basic pistol skills, and if you pass that, which you will, you can take intermediate, which I have this year, and then if you pass that, you can take advanced. And one of the common themes with that progression is the stress goes up a little bit, and we can get a little more realistic as we improve our safety and accuracy, and I'll start stressing you out just a little bit. And people almost always, will, they all realize, oh my God, I need to do some more training.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. It's fun, and you bought some knowledge.
Yeah.
But that tends to be overwhelming for people, so I do have a few spots left in some of those classes if they're interested. But I got a home defense class coming up, no firearms needed. We'll shoot airsoft guns and how to defend your home. I got a few spots left in that class. That's in 3 weeks. That's going to be super fun. And but the best thing you could probably do, the easiest, if you want to aim as low as possible and do the easiest step, in November I'm doing a concealed carry class. And we're just going to talk about laws, when you can and can't use a gun, and when you should and shouldn't use.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah.
And little...
that knowledge.
I know you got a tinfoil hat on, so we're going to say this like, how can I say this? Because I got a tinfoil hat on right now too.
I know where you're going with that.
I will say,
you need to know your...
There's a legal...
Yes.
We will talk about places where it's illegal to have a firearm, but where you might want to consider breaking the law. And we'll talk about consequences and penalties. I am not what's the word? I'm not encouraging you to break the law at all. I'm just going to talk about some situations where people have, and maybe it was a good idea. You can make that decision for yourself. I'm not telling anyone to break the law. I do not encourage it. But we will talk about real things that concealed carry class, the state requires me to teach a certain amount of things, and everybody teaches those bare minimum, and it kind of sucks. So I add in a lot of extra bonus stuff that helps you really take it home and know, oh, this is why this law exists, and here's what I can do if something happens at home.
See,
and here's how
comes with that.
Here's how I stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Here's how I know when I should shoot, and here's when I know I need to run and get the heck out of there.
Exactly.
I think confidence comes from being prepared, and that class really prepares you to know when you should and shouldn't use a firearm. Now,
that's great.
So there's the end of my shameless plug. But I'd love, if anybody wants to train, including you, hit me up. We'll make it happen.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm ready for things to level out a little bit in my life. You know, the flight or flight and all the things. This apartment is great. We've been having so much fun. We've got the slab poured, and they should start framing up the walls, the exterior walls this week, hopefully. And it's just been several weeks of shopping on Marketplace, trying to find the best deal for whatever we can. And I don't know if you've ever done much shopping on Marketplace, which I haven't. Like, I've just here and there maybe bought one or two things over the years, but never like a full-time shopping excursion on Marketplace. And we've literally got everything that you can imagine. Like, the only thing that we need to get left is like an on-demand hot water heater. Everything else we haven't got a toilet yet. I probably won't get a used toilet on Marketplace. I'll probably go with a new. That's just kind of I don't even like to use public restrooms and that kind of thing. But anyways, I got a tub, and most of the things that we've gotten have been new too, because there's a lot of like overstock warehouse type, home improvement type places where you can get a lot of things pretty affordable. So it's just been a hustle every day. I'm road warrior, driving somewhere to go either pick something up or go look at something, see if it's going to work out, or that kind of thing. But I mean, I just spent $100 yesterday on a washer dryer combo that's like a stackable unit. You know what I mean? You can it just needs to be cleaned up. You know what I mean? Like, I've got $100 on a range, like a stovetop and oven that literally, it's like they put it in like the bottom line cheapest thing that they could get from a contractor's perspective, because they were selling a house and they were just getting it up to be able to sell it, kind of never been used. It doesn't look like it's ever been cooked in or anything. Nice. For $100, you know what I mean? Nice. So you really got to hustle, and you got to be able to go and do right then when you find it, because it's going to go so quick, you know what I mean, for most of the things. But I got a really like brand new beautiful couch yesterday that I picked up from this boutique store that they've had it in their office and not even sat in at all, maybe for some meetings every once in a while. $100. Yeah. Like, brand new couch, like, you know what I mean? It just but you have to stay on there. I know. Constantly. And if I'm not on there constantly, my mom's on there and sending me stuff constantly. So it has been like, okay, I need to detox. Can I have one day in nature? So I was like, I'm not telling nobody shit. We are leaving. We are doing this tomorrow. Yes. But how wonderful was it, man? It's been an absolutely beautiful day, beautiful morning, incredible conversation.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, it's been really good. All right. Well, as we say it, there's your podcast. That's usually how I end it.
There's your podcast,
there's your podcast.
What's it called again? It's either helpful or it's not, or what'd you call it?
Pretty much. Random thoughts. Some useful.
Yeah, well, hopefully there was some useful stuff in there.
Yeah, there was absolutely useful. I always learn so much whenever I have, like I said, like it's kind of selfish motivation for doing this. It's like, I enjoy learning and I enjoy connecting with people like this on this kind of a level, and I enjoy exploring all kinds of random topics and things, and you know what I mean? So why not record it, make it a podcast, and share it with others? Somebody will benefit.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think
so too. Cool. Well, we'll have to do it again.
Yeah, let me know. You said you have friends that want to go hike.
Yeah.
We can record it or not record it. If you want to hike, let me know.
Yeah, I would love to. Is this where you normally go, or what are some other great places in Oklahoma that are easy like this?
So I'm the two places I go the most is here and down to Wichita Wildlife Refuge, but that's an hour-and-a-half drive.
Yeah.
So other than that,
I haven't been out there much.
There's a trail system I've been wanting to check out up in Edmond, but there's stuff everywhere, dude. I mean, we could just go explore. This is good for me because it's quick and convenient. And we have a lot of little resources here, but I guarantee there's something between me and you or closer to you.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
We'll search for a park.
Same.
Usually around lakes is good. There's mountain bike trails usually by lakes, and you can just turn them into hiking trails.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. All right. Well, until next time, there's no telling. I haven't looked at my phone to see what is on the agenda today, but I'm going to try to soak up some sun for sure.
You got one of the two most important things knocked out already.
Yep, absolutely. All right, I'll get that mic from you then. Love you, dude. Great conversation as usual.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do it again soon for sure. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Random Thoughts Some Useful. If this spoke to your soul, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, share this with your friends and family, or even leave us a review. And come find me on all platforms at Apothecarying Jen so we can stay connected. Until next time, stay grounded, stay high vibe, and stay true to you.